In Facebook land, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Today is Sunday. Usually on Sunday we have prime time, and this is a special edition of our prime time. But this special edition is a debate, and we want to welcome you to this broadcast. Today is a special debate between two talk show hosts, Diflo Flomo and Prince Sharif, and we are happy to be here. I am Anthony here hosting along with Mr. Dennis Jha. I will now turn control over to Mr. Dennis Jha for the official introduction of the show. Mr. Jha.
Thank you, Anthony. Want to say welcome all of you to this special edition of Focus on Liberia. We are having Sunday special debate between Diflo Flomo, who is a supporter of the CPP. Diflo, if you can put your name there because we're not seeing. Okay, okay. Your name is behind you. Please shift on the side a little bit so that people will see your name. Good. That's good. So that's Diflo Flomo of the Destiny Debaters. He's going to be debating Mr. Prince Sharif, who calls himself "We Are Barian," as you can see on his name tag right there. And they will be debating top political issues. First of all, let's say welcome, Mr. Prince Sharif, aka We Are Barian.
Thank you ever so much, Mr. Jha and Brother Anthony, for giving us the opportunity to be on this platform. We appreciate it. And as always, we will try to do our best to explain to our people in the simplest form possible relative to what is obtaining in Liberia. So again, fellow Liberians that have joined us on this discussion this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you are, I want to use this occasion to salute each and every one of you and welcome you on this platform. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prince. Next, we want to welcome Mr. Diflo Flomo of the Destiny Debaters. Diflo, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, gentlemen, for the invite, and thank you to see my brother Prince Sharif from the CDC. I want to say I'm honored to be in studio with you for us to take on this national duty to debate with honesty and present to our Liberian people the facts.
All right, we want to welcome all our viewers across the globe. Here at Focus on Liberia, we attempt to educate, to elevate, and promote all things Liberia. And when it comes to debate, what a better place to be than Focus on Liberia. Some time ago, Prince, Mr. Diflo Flomo had a show right here on Focus on Liberia that Prince Sherry watched that show and he was not happy with certain things. And so he reached out to us so that he can debate Diflo. Diflo accepted, and here we are today. So before going any further, we want to again say, Mr. We Are Barian. What's up with this thing? We Are Barian. But before we get into that, I want to call on you to make your case. You reached out to us, and we decided to host the two of you for a debate. Make your case why you think you needed to debate your brother Prince Diflo. Okay, We Are Barian will be coming back shortly.
Sometimes we get interrupted by the calls. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting you.
Okay, yeah, just get set. Let me go back to my man.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Sometimes,
Yeah, while Prince gets
we receive calls.
While Prince gets set, Prince continue to make the adjustment here while I make some things clear here to our audience. Again, we can welcome you enough. Mr. Prince Sharif, sometime watch a podcast that Diflo Flomo did, and he has some reservation with Diflo position on the issue. But then he saw also that Diflo were carrying Focus on Liberia logo at his back when he had a podcast. So he reached out to us and said, "Hey, are you guys in anything with this Diflo gentleman?" Because he made some things, he said some things that I have to disagree with seriously. I said, "Yes, we are in conversation for a partnership." He said, "But I mean, if you guys are allowing this young man to be in partnership and saying things that completely out of line, then I will release my political bazooka against him, and you guys will be included." So he went on to tell us what the issue was. Say, "Okay, can we schedule a debate between you guys?" And Prince said, "Yes, Anthony, if Focus on Liberia can do it, I will be more than glad." to debate D-Flow. So today the stage is set. Prince is here and D-Flow Flomo is here. But we want to start with Mr. Sharif to make his case, as an introductory statement. Make your case why you felt the need to debate your comrade D-Flow Flomo.
All right. Okay.
Mhm.
As you may be aware,
Mhm.
and to many listeners,
Mhm.
we are in an age and an era where information technology is taking over the world. There are people who are using this particular opportunity to their advantage, and there are others who are using it to the disadvantage of others. Those of us who have been following the trends of events in the world, we all know that the issue of information dissemination, when it is not adequately checkmate, it may cause problems, like we saw in the Arab Spring. Few days ago, I would like to say, speaking from a literary term, few days ago, we saw what happened in the Arab world. And it all happened only because there were information that was released on the social media. Something happened, it went viral on social media, and from there, people start to organize themselves. And it blew out of proportion, and today they are feeling the effect. Another thing could be the radicalization of people when it comes to the issue of us. As you may be aware, as we speak in our day, in our age, in our dispensation, there are people who are becoming radicalized by means of the same platform that we are using. The people who have different method or different, mindset of engaging government or, looking at situation, will use the same medium and try to convince other people that, look, take this way, and they will radicalize them in a negative form. And these people, at the end of the day, will be able to take a negative approach to affect society. So those of us that believe in this particular government, that believe in this pro-poor agenda, have made it a duty upon ourselves that we will not sit and remain mute like as it was in the 80s, where those days, when one side had the opportunity to make their case, anybody that comes to America, anything you say, that you become the truth teller. So people who didn't have the opportunity to come here, they were never there. And that is how we saw people supported the war. So those of us that are here say, hey, no, we will not sit here. We have our phones and all of our gadgets and allow people to parade with mess and disinformation, and we keep quiet. We will take it upon ourselves to defend this government, that we are a member of the party, and we will defend Liberia, that we are Liberians. So this is the reason why I thought it wise to come on this medium and to checkmate my brother of so many myths and disinformation that has no iota of truth, that lack a macro inch of fact. That's why we choose to come right on this platform to debunk some of the information and to provide to our people what the government is doing in Liberia. So that's why we are here, and we'll try to do our best and to be as simple as possible that everybody can get the message. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. That is well laid out. And again, if you have not hit that share button, please do so, because you are going to witness what plans to be one of the best debates you've ever witnessed in recent years. So before we even go deep into it, D-Flow, you caused an uproar a few days ago when you referred to the fallen lawmaker as the cat. And that was one of the issues that Prince had serious reservation with. And also Prince has consistently referred to himself as we are burying. We want to also know what that means. So let's start the ball rolling by getting to you, Mr. D-Flow Flomo, to talk to us about one of those things that Prince is vehemently against. That is your reference to Honorable Mona Pelon Youngblood as the cat.
Thank you, fellow Librarians at home and in the diaspora. Welcome again to another debate here. This is our first debate between my brother, Prince Sharif, who happens to be a propagandist of the CDC government. On behalf of other of us, with Liberia Destiny Debaters, I would like to take this moment to say to our brothers and sisters of the CDC and to the bereaved family of the late Muna Peno, our condolences to you all. So the issue, I'm not surprised by Prince coming out to throw the first blow, but I will let him learn for a while though. Then I will come by with a complete strategy in debate. Prince referred to a radicalizing people. My post on the late our sister Muna Peno was not intended, was not any way to denigrate or to look condescending to the dead. It was done out of instinct that I needed to publish this because I wanted to get ahead of this game because I didn't want another person to pick this news. But then when you go on the call to look at us as if to say the cat was made by me or invented by Depot, I want you to take a moment and look at the video. The video is out there. Others have played. I never played it from the day. I have played it after, but not the very day. The video is out there. She did this recalling right after she returned from the United States. She went to Liberia and she was candid about her position, how she is the rat, how she is the cat, how she's the wolf, and the wolf was out of town, so the wolf had returned. So the wolf needed to again bring all of the foreigners arrest that referring to my candidate A.B. Darius Dedon in the upcoming senatorial election as a rat, and having been the cat and the wolf, so she was ready to take on this. But my brother Prince, I gotta tell you this: Liberia belongs to all of us. I respect you. I respect every person who is still propagating for the CDC. I did for a few months, but I saw the light and I said it was enough. I needed to come back and look at my country as an individual and put my country first instead of putting George Weah and the CDC ahead of my country.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now you heard from both individuals. Prince, you have laid out a whole lot of things, and one of it is people are engaging in radicalization. There are people who are spreading false rumors that may result to something that we saw during the Arab Spring and all these things. Please, in specific terms, tell us those things that you think D-Flow has done or said that resembles radicalization or something that may cause something resembling the Arab Spring or some form of insurrection in our country.
All right. As you may be aware, that D-Flow is one of the committed blind surrogate of a brother who I refer to as a crookster, and he supported the issue of the Jones 7 from the very, very onset. He was one of those who collected money for that process, and the January 9 or so protest. He is on record of collecting money for that particular process. He collected money. And what was that money intended for? When you listen to the men he followed, D-Flow followed, their mission was to unseat the government. Their mission was to create an anarchy in a democratic nation. Their mission was to take an unorthodox means to remove a democratically elected government. That was what he said from the very onset. So D-Flow, who today I am saying is one person that is using the social media, also bought the idea from Costa. And he was one of those that were collecting, whatever finance or whatever, and making the necessary arrangement for that to be done. He's even on record, that which I have on my device, of saying that the Liberian people should also turn up in their masks. He had a show, and I have it here, that they should turn up in their masks, go on the street and embarrass this government and do everything that will make for this government to be no more. So he is on record. He went and had several talk shows promoting the actual event. That is before the event. He's on record. He appealed to people You raised money, money was collected, even though we know how that money was siphoned, how it was spent, but that is not the issue. So he went out there giving out information that are not accurate. You that is in the United States knowing very well that we have process. That even if you want to unseat the government, that they are process. But you coming on social media and saying that jump on the street. Let's go overthrow the government. Let's block this, let's block that. We feel that, and we still of the conviction that these are things that we must not sleep for. Those of us who are patriotic, that we must not sleep for. We must come and tell the people, yeah, you can disagree with me, you can disagree with your government, but there are ways, there are manner, and there are procedure that you can follow in order for you to be able to get your voice across, or even to unseat the government. There are process. But collecting money and saying that you go in there to, overthrow the government and blah, 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 we thought that it was unorthodox, and we must continue to correct the wrongs, especially by our brothers. So these are issues we just come to put in context. And when you listen to him, always is, oh, they're doing post-suffering. Oh, and the government's not serious, blah, 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 and the rest of it. So that's why we are here, to be able to sharpen the contradiction and provide the facts to some of this information that have been spilled out there by our brother.
Thank you. Mr. Wasuni, you heard the two gentlemen. I think we're here for a show. Take it away from me, sir.
We are here for a show, and I don't know if you can imagine how ready I am. Look, gentlemen, before this official start of the show, we play a music. I am one person who believes that music can be dispensational. And let me share something with you, and you will agree with me that they make sense. The music, the singers were saying, everybody pop balling, but my pop can't ball. What are you doing for the youth? All the BP talk that resort to negligence. And their message sound baseless to the elite and those who are governed. And then it went on by saying, how long will I be faithful? Stop listening to your device there, gentlemen. How long will we be faithful, like Job, when we are going through this economic pain? Those guys continue to sing. We have to fight like dogs to survive. The only time our power can ball is when the car killed the dog. He continued, our economic system put just like church or rat. And he continued by saying, the landlord said I should go tomorrow because my power can ball. The music continued, gentlemen. No more election. They just do selection. Jemama Wolokoli can relate. Telly Ayure can relate. And maybe Benin Ayure can relate too. Because I don't remember when last they had election in that party to select, somebody to run on that ticket. Gentlemen, you might think this is not relevant. This music, the songs, the lyrics are applicable into this Liberia, to this government as well. My question is, starting with you, D-Flow, do you agree with every word in this music? If yeah, why?
I concur with the producer and all of the singers that participated in this process, because music is just like journalism. You have a message, and those things are based on what the happenings in society. So when you find a musician and he goes out there to produce a music, he's basing it based on a message, something that he has seen or something that is happening within the society. So you take that and transform that into your God-given talent and produce something. So when you, as you said, the producer completely lay out the economic situation at the time on Ella Johnson's salary. Many people felt and still believe up to this time that the system has failed them, but they quickly drive into something. I want you to take everything serious about this music that you just discussed. This is not likely. How can you live in a country that is 172 years old, soon to be 173 years old, that people of my age are still begging or living with their mommies? I can be 45 years old and you still living in your mother's house. In Liberia, how can be 45 years old? You are in a political party that told you, follow me as your leader when I become the leader of the state. Your situation, your condition, and everything about you that you have suffered through your life will be over. I am the Redeemer. I am the Messiah. I have come to redeem you. But what do we have? Everything in the music is a replay. Joria has done absolutely nothing other than fooling the Liberian people. Absolutely nothing. I have the proper agenda, which if I have the time, I will tell you what Prince needs to know about this country. Prince, when was the last time you visited Liberia? Hello?
Hello?
Prince.
I am in Liberia almost all the time.
I'm a great debater. When was the last time you visited Liberia? Wake up.
Yeah, I am in Liberia almost all of the time. Almost all of the time.
When? Not all the time. It's not an answer. When?
That's what I say. Almost all of the time I'm in Liberia.
When? Give me a date.
Almost all of the time I am in Liberia.
Answer, brother. It's vague.
Okay.
It's vague.
Almost all of the time I am in Liberia.
Well, I'm not going to fall for that because that is what a map maker does. A map maker like you will come up with something with no evidence. I can tell you I was in Liberia last year, July, what? I left the United States the 27th of July, and I arrived in Liberia on the 30th. I went to OKFM and propagated for CDC at the time. So you can tell me, my brother, I don't know the situation on the ground. I do.
D-Flow, before you get to that, Asuni, first of all, Prince lay out why he think that you were, part of the group that may cause some trouble in the country. We leave that for now. But Mr. C asked you a question about the partner balling. So,
if you're gonna ask me that question, let me interrupt you, right? How many people part balling other than Joe? I would say people are hungry, but they don't have appetite.
Right.
People hungry, they don't have appetite. I'm hungry. You are the leader. He said, for all we are blessed. We are blessed. We have appetite. We get food to eat. That's a shameless leader who looks in the face of the majority. Back of the people that brought him to power, they are hungry. But he tells them, people get appetite. They don't get food to eat. I'm blessed. I get food. I get appetite. Only a shameless leader does that.
Thank you. Prince.
Yes, sir.
You guys are saying they're partner balling.
Well, thank you for the question. You see, sometimes when you are looking at a particular music or at a particular, a saying, you must first of all look at the era that particular music was made. You must look at the circumstances that prompted either the actor or the actress to make that particular music or that particular show. You must also look at the environment at the time that particular actor or actress or musician was in before that particular, whether be a show or music was made. Now, let's put things in context here. When was that music made in Liberia? It was made during the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Correct.
Now, what prompted our brother Takunje to make that music? As you may be aware, when Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took over our nation, she received all of the support, all of the international recognition and support, because at the time, the international community, through the ICC, that is the International Contact Group, had an agenda, and that agenda was to lift Liberia up from the dungeon of poverty, of suffering, and etc., because these are some of the things that brought the war. So they decided that we will focus on the economy. How do we focus on the economy? Let us pump money and create an avenue where Liberians can be employed. When Liberians are employed, it will help to reduce the friction between the people and their government. So what did they do? They infused some huge amount, or some 16 billion, in the country. And taking into consideration our population, a very large, a percent of our population are young people. So when that money was infused in the economy, it was for the intention of creating a society where young people can be skilled. Because remember now, during the war, most of our skilled laborers, they left the country or some of them died. So that money was infused in the economy so that at the end of the day, we can build a better economy and a skillful economy. especially amongst the most vulnerable group, that is the young people. So that money was infused. The reason for which that money was infused was to also create a situation in Liberia where the young people will actually be able to rise up, from the stage of begging, let's put it this way, to a stage where they can be self-dependent. But we saw that in that circumstances, with all the release of that international funds, what happened? Nothing. The money was being mismanaged, was being misused, and was being taken away by few group of Liberians that Madam Salih referred to as, the competent, the qualified, and etc., etc. They collected that money and they carried it away from Liberia, here in the United States and other nations. So based on that, when Takunje saw that, when Takunje saw that all of the money that was coming in the country had no direct impact on the nation, and those money was going right back in the pockets of people. That's how he made that song. Everybody start balling, especially those that are in the government, those that are related to the government, those that are holding Madam Ellen Johnson Salif bag, those that are holding Robert Salif bag, they are part balling. But our part cannot ball. So we look at the situation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Sharif, you will continue, but this is a follow-up. Is that music applicable today in today's government, in this economy?
Well, I don't think it is holistically applicable to this particular government. I don't think so.
What does that mean?
All right.
The people part balling now. That's what you mean?
Well, you see, when we talk about part balling, he was speaking in a literary term. But when we talk about part balling, let us not just restrict it to you getting money in your pocket. And this is why most people get it wrong. It's not just restricted to you getting money in your pocket. Your pocket ball when you are giving the mechanism to be able to make money on your own. For example, like education. If I gave you education, my brother Dennis, your part is balling. If I create road where you can leave from Morovia and go all the way to Bokonjiri and make your farm, your part is balling. If I gave you the opportunity where you can be able to speak and criticize government without you being haunted or being killed, your part is balling. So let's not just restrict it.
Right. So all we want to know is those things were not happening at the time Takunje made the music. You are saying those things are happening now. In other words, people part balling now, even though they were not balling under the Ellen Johnson Salif regime. That's why Mr. C asked, is it applicable?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, that's what I'm saying. People part are balling, but it just depends on how you look at it. Because maybe somebody look at it that when my palm ball, when they take money, put it in my pocket. So yeah, okay, fine. That's it. You say people part are balling. Your parts are balling.
D-Flow.
D-Flow, and D-Flow, here's the thing, right? And before you come up with your rebuttal, if people parts were not balling during Ellen time.
Yeah.
And we're looking at today. There were circumstances that prompted Takunje and her team to make this music, right?
Yes.
People access to funds, business, commodity prices, how it was easier to get a cup of rice. In Takunje's view at the time, it was tough. So if you look at process then, and you look at process here, can we say that is Prince correct to say people parballing now when in fact the prices have gone up, when in fact fewer people are unemployed? And
let me answer.
Well, but if you want to say that, then of course my brother just jumped over the bridge, and knock his head down on the cement. Prince, you gotta be killing me to think that people are balling. Are you killing me? You have not seen Liberia in days, in months, in years. You have not visited the country. You come here to make a story because you are a propagandist. You don't know John Weah. You don't know any top citizens. I know them. I know how the party operates. You are a meth maker. But let me answer your question. This is why the Liberian people went for George Weah. Change for hope. When you go into a political party, into a campaign, and you come with this meth, this mindset that this other side has filled, and then the whole nation, 61.25% of the voting public, having to choose you, you got to make it better for them. You got to make it better. If you want to tell me, let me tell you the Prince, because you don't know Liberia. Let me be very clear to you. You can't even find door in Liberia to eat again. In our video, they say, I got to get a door. But there's not no door. It's everywhere. Everybody is hungry. People don't want to go to their party headquarters anymore. It is a dead zone. No more life there other than the Sacramento tree. Then you talk about the state of interdependency. Are you kidding me? There are more liability. People have become beggars under your administration than what we had in the early administration. I am serious about this. It is in Liberia today, people protest before they get paid. Under your watch, under the watch of our leader, His Excellency George Oponwuya. It is under his watch that women will protest because they have not been paid for months. What happened a few days ago? Water and sewer people. Didn't we see people protesting for that they have not been paid for 21 months? Are you killing me? How is their part body? How can you convince me and convince all of our listeners here that all is well? This is Methodism. This is the class of being a propagandist for a party, and you are loyal to your party that says to you, party does discipline, party doctrine. It means you must protect your party even when your party is in the wrong. You go on to talk about the issue of where was George Oponwuya, the president today? Where was George Oponwuya when he served as Liberia's peace ambassador? He worked under Eddie Johnson Sirleaf. In a clip, he said, I work for the government, I work with the government, I created so many projects that led to deficit. Hello? When you create things and they lead to a deficit, that's success. Be careful with me, Prince.
Thank you, D Flo. So you said there is no dog now. Prince, I heard another song that said it used to be one man, one cup, but this time. So convince our listening audience that actually people part balling in spite of the condition that we hear of on the radio.
Yeah. Let me just say here that if I was in another form, D Flo was going to be arrested right now, incarcerated, and I don't know. For the fact that you can come on this platform in the United States of America and try to tell us that dog that we all know in this country have right, has their own right, that people are not killing them. I think these are things that we must seriously discourage. And I want to say here on this platform that I respect the lives of humans. I also respect the lives of animals. I'm a lover of animals. So I think focus on Liberia needs to disassociate herself from that particular statement. So if you have one of your own coming on this platform and saying that people are not killing dogs, that is a serious offense, not only to me, a lover of animals, but to many of us who love and care for our animals. Now, let's come to another issue here. Like I said from the very onset, when you talk about people parboiling, you got to look at it in different contexts. Yesterday, our brother never had the opportunity to go to the University of Liberia and attend classes without paying tuition. But today, our brothers who have the opportunity are going to the University of Liberia, acquiring education without paying a tuition. Is that not a parboiling? Yesterday, we never had road that could lead from Jamaica Road to get all the way to Broad Street without passing through Fipo. But today you have a road that can take you from all the way Corway, that you will not even see the main junction or the main road, and you can pass from there and go all the way on Broad Street. Is that not parboiling? Today we are seeing, like my brother talked about unemployment. What is your ratio of unemployment yesterday as compared to today? When you gave me that statistic, then I will be able to tell you that don't go there with me. And I will tell you why you shouldn't go there. The statistics of yesterday can never be compared to the statistics of today as it relates to unemployment. That's the reason. Let's look at the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Let's look at the variables that was in place to help this government. Let's look at how much the United Nations was pumping in. Let's look at how many international NGOs we had in Liberia under the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Let's look at how many concession agreements that were signed under the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to create jobs. And let's see, what are those who at the time were working, what impact did they make to the family as compared to now that we do not have all pumping in those millions or billions of dollars, that we do not have all of the international NGOs that is providing jobs, that today the 68 concession agreement that was signed
Most of these concessionaires say, and they get Scarlington staff, and they are not even employing again. Let's look at the war market. Rubber at the time was booming. You know that. As I speak to you today, every manufacturer now, they are now reducing their purchase of rubber because of this, technology that have come to play where they can recycle. So it is now dropping. But what the government is doing that is most essential, look at the medical area. Today, this government is able to send doctors away so that they can come and be able to train other doctors and be able to help in the vacuum that we have in the health sector. Let's look at today, for example, the young people that are undergoing training or that just underwent training from the First Lady office. Some good number of girls was taken to China to go and learn, how to braid hair, how to fix hair, and etc., etc. Today, they are in Liberia. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for this corona to just cease so that these people can be actually put in the market. Let's look at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Few days ago, the Ministry of Youth and Sport has initiated a process where young people are given the opportunity to attend the MVTC, and some of them today are actually doing their practical. Attend the MVTC, get a skill, and they will be employed by government. So are people not balling? But I will not say that there are not challenges. Yes, there are challenges. But as compared to today and yesterday, I think people parts are balling. My brother talk about people are not going on the Sakamochi. I'm coming. Let me just learn on this.
No,
My brother said people are not going on.
Hold on, Prince. I just want to say we'll go into the specifics. We're go into the economic corruption. This was just a water cooler to say about the part balling, right?
All right, sir.
Don't put all your ammunition in there.
No. I have a barrage of ammunition that I got nuclear weapon here. I got nuclear weapon. I'm not using it.
Did you consider take it to the bank to give you a little more?
Hold on, D-Flow, because that was just something that we brought because we watched the museum, we like it. But before this, Prince lay an array of charges against you, Mr. D-Flow Flomo, that what you are doing is something that is that's going to support something that is close to insurrection in the country, that he has you on record finances what's supposed to be a way of unseating the government. I want you to respond to those charges before, so that we can conclude the first segment, and then we'll go into the specific, which my political bulldog,
thank you for taking us back to that level. My brother Prince for another mother and my former political party, I'm sorry for you. You are in a difficult. You can't defend the process. You don't know the lane. You have not been there for a while. You are like, you see it from the distance. I see it from the mirror from within. When you talk about my support for the June 7th and whatever Kosa and myself have in common, I can say to you, we are not radicalizing any individuals here. Not at all. We are not terrorists. All we are doing here is we want to educate our people so they can remove themselves. From this political bondage, this political prison that they put themselves into. They have put themselves into a political prison to make themselves believe that their leaders will continue to lie to them. I will bear role when I become president. When I will bring 6,000 teachers. I will bear a Berry Island. I will bear 500 days. I will employ this. I will bring a weed company. Everything is a mess. Everything is a lie. It is not going to work. But let me just respond quickly to your question. My support for the June 7th, I will do it again if I have to do it when it is peaceful. I am not a former rebel. I don't support insurgency. I don't support radicalizing people. I support the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Give us as a people the right to peacefully assemble and petition our government to seek redress when we think it is necessary for our protection. So I will do it again if I have to do June 7th again all over.
All right.
Right.
Mr. Jazz, before we go to the meat of this debate, folks in cyberspace, we are just getting started. That which you just listened to was a warm-up. Now we are about to go into the first half of this conversation. But Mr. Jazz, I see people commenting and they're throwing some charges against us. Let's hear from them what they're trying to evaluate us here. Can you do that quickly for me?
And we want people to always do that. We at Focus on Liberia, we are not perfect. So we need the feedback so that we can improve what we are doing and do things better. So let's see some of the comments. Daniel Kandanema, D-Flow, don't lie here today, please, because it's Sunday. Precious Sandy, be truthful to yourself. Let me hear, man. Miriam Samuel, Precious Sandy, look, today, Sunday, okay. Daniel Kennedy, we need truth from you both guys, for God's sake. Today is second Sunday. You guys take communion or no? D-Flow, any misinformation today, I will deal with you. That's Anthony Rogers. Patrick Ray, D-Flow, beat sense into that guy's head. We say gentle soul, Marshall Vanny, I'm religiously following says confidence and my brother Prince. Prince, somebody is religiously following you. He said, Prince, you are making a lot of sense here. That's still Bese Vanny. Prince has beaten enough sense in D-Flow's head, as Daniel Kandanema. Miriam Samuel replied, Daniel, he didn't see his way, so he gave it. Wilmot Pele, he's making a lot of sense. Like how? Wilmot is not sure you are making sense. Patrick Beto, Prince, remember we are watching you with lots of support from us. Precious Sandy, Prince, I hope you are ready because D-Flow is looking for research. Anthony Rogers, those state looters won't come back again, but they will die a natural death comes 2023. I mean, that's a political death. I don't believe Mr. Rogers is talking about actual death. We have lost too many of our people. Patrick Beto, first of all, the music was made before this government. This government is doing everything to eradicate such lyrics. I want to see the criticism, man.
Yeah, I saw one that the writer said, we are biased and we are in support of D-Flow. And then I think somebody said that is why our viewership is always around 70. That's what the person said. So we at least we get 70. I think we're happy with that, right?
Exactly. Walker said, but D-Flow, you knew why you went to Liberia for, but you were denied several times because of your poor mindset. Wheeler's Omega Boiler, Prince Sharif's answer shows that he's a hypocrite. How can you come to a country all the time and you live in America? These are why we are is not doing well, as people like you keep praising the vagabond. Don't call the president vagabond. Let's keep it professional, Mr. Wheeler. Bon King Prince, those people on this platform are opposition. They will defend D-Flow in everything he says. On here, I'm just informing you. Okay, that's what you were talking about. D-Flow Flomo to blame 170 years problem on George William. You are mentally ill. Don't talk like that, brother. He's going to give me his opinion. All right, those are a few of the comments. I know somebody will accuse me saying we didn't read all.
I want to respond to something my brother said earlier before I forget.
Hold on, Prince. I mean, D-Flow. Okay, Widow Gorcha, my brother Prince, this platform is for opposition. Be careful before they insult you, my brother. Prince, your response to that caller, to that comment. He said this platform is for opposition, so we're going to insult you. Your response.
Let me just say to those that are listening, you see, we are prepared. Whenever we enter a terrain that is a strange terrain, we are prepared. We respect the professionalism that is exhibited here on this platform, even though we know that there are people here who are associated with the opposition, and you know they will do everything to make sure that this government is not in existence. But again, we respect the professionalism that is exhibited here, and be not afraid. We are well equipped. We are trained to actually engage this kind of technique, this kind of terrain, defeat this terrain, and pass our information across. So to my sister or my brother who is raising concern about this platform being, you know, a platform that is controlled by the opposition, do not be afraid. Be at bay. As Christ said to his disciple when there was a storming, you know, or weather, and when the water was tossing here and there, he said, peace, peace, be at ease. And he said to the storm, you be calm and it will be calm. So, we have the situation under control with your help, with your knowledge that you are also providing. We believe that the people that are here, they are also, professional people, even though, like I said, they have some, but they are professional. And I really believe that we will hold their feet to the fire to exhibit every means of professionalism. Thank you.
That's why they have deep flow.
And I like that song of Peace Be Still, and I sing that, I'm a choir boy, so I love that song myself. But thank you. And we welcome your comments.
Something that my brother said earlier, I'd like to have a take on it.
Yeah, go ahead, Diflo. Respond to the comments.
My brother said, going back to the son, parboiling son, something that
can you respond to the comments first?
I love that song. It's dear to my heart. Just as the new song that came out that say, if you want your girl to know how the size of your girl, let her put it in a skin tight, right? So my brother Prince Sharif, let me know something you're cooking out here a little bit politically.
Mr. Diflo. Mr. Diflo.
Yes, sir.
Let's watch our language. When you say coconut hair, it appears a little offensive. We don't want to use
it. That's a jogging. That's a jogging. That's a political. That's a new thing.
Yeah, we don't. Let's keep it plain.
Stupid. It's just saying the person say you are making mistake. Let me correct you. But to the issue, when my brother come across at it to say we don't know what happened during the earlier administration and what happened in this administration. I visited Liberia every year or every other year when Ellie was in power. And I traveled the length of birth of Liberia. There is no capital city of Liberia, I don't know, the 15 counties. Prince, you can't name me all of these counties, you've never been to them. But let me answer the question. The former chairman of CDC USA, Isaac Vatupa, chairman emeritus, said this when he came from Liberia. Liberians are living below the living standard of a dog in the United States. When you people were in the opposition, Allah, you call him, but where they are today, they are living more than what he said. Thank God he resigned because I was waiting for him to come to the show. So one day I can ask him this question. You said, and I quote, Liberians are living below the living standard of a dog. That description to me was above the political dispensation of our nation. You compare your people to a dog. So, Prince, let me remind you, all of the change for hope, it was nothing but to bring joy to reach all of the people. It was nothing but to bring bunch of native people to corrupt and get self-glorify, self-enrich himself on your own watch. Yeah? John has been for the 7 homes. Your own watch. John changed his compound with $88 million that he did not have. He had in the bank, he did not have a city good house on 9th Street. I visited that house.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now go into business here. Gentlemen, let's start with a little more on the bread and butter issue, if you like. I have this to share with you. Is the CDC cleaning the mess? There's a gentleman called Akaros Gray. He is an executive of the CDC, even though he resigned. Something that suggests that the cake might be cracking. But what I'm saying here is the CDC cleaning the mess or creating more mess? Second one, given the economy the CDC inherited, are things getting better for the average Joe Blow or West? Prince, you take a shot.
Yes, sir. I want to say here that the response to that question will be from which angle that one from his or herself. Those of us who believe that Liberia is moving forward despite the challenges, we will say yes, this government is cleaning the mess. Those of our brothers who are on the other end, who are very used to taking fabulous salaries and benefits that they've not been working for, those that are very used to getting free money, taking government properties and using it anyhow, any shape, any form, in any manner, those that are very used to taking $24,000 home, as a take-home salary and getting 1,000 gallons of gas slave and $2,000 crash car to call, they may say that this government is creating more mess. But let me just focus on this. Indeed, this government is actually taking care of the mess and eradicating the mess. And these are the angles that I'm coming from. One, let's look at in the private sector, in the public sector. Few years ago, you and myself, we can tell, and the records are there. Everybody that left the United States of America or those that were working in government, they had the will, the privilege to be able to write their own check. They will tell government what they need, what they want, and what they are qualified to get. And all of a sudden, they will be paid. There were people in the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf who were making $24,000 a month, 1,000 gas slips. They were taking up to $3,000 for scratch card. When these people come here in America to their own homes, the government will give them money for DSA, stipend, and the rest of it. But today, what are we seeing? We are seeing a massive reduction in what we refer to as salary harmonization, which was criticized by many of us yesterday when this process was initiated by this government, that look, we cannot continue to spend the Liberian people money foolishly. Let us have what we call salary harmonization. You, my brothers here, cannot be working at the Ministry of Finance as deputy minister. You're making $2,000, and another person work as some kind of deputy minister or maybe foreign affairs and making up to $10,000. Let us harmonize our salary. And remember, it was based on the international advices, the advices that we receive from our international partners, because Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf could not actually effectuate these advices or those advices. But when this government came, we saw what happened to salary harmonization. People who were taking 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, it was adequately slashed in the interest of development. Today, there is no government official, public official, as it relates to the cabinet, the executive branch, that is taking anything more than 10,000 Liberian dollars as a take-home pay. Nobody, no government official, as far as the executive is concerned. Is that mess that we are cleaning? Yes, that which did not happen yesterday. Now let's look at the very legislators. Yesterday, these are people, they are made their own salary. They agree that this is what we want. But today, because of this government or this president own, initiative to see a better Liberia and manage the resources, he has been able to talk to the lawmaker. Do you know that the lawmaker now, their, salary and other benefits, that it has been reduced? Do you know that? I know some of you don't know, but I want to say here, and if anybody is here, they can bear me witness that some of the fabulous benefits, including some of the salary that they were taking home, through the instrumentality of this government that want to see on managing our resources adequately, they are able to at least cut down some of the benefits, that they were receiving. Is that cleaning the mess? Yes, it is cleaning the mess. Yesterday, we saw billions of dollars being used in Liberia, the electricity sector, almost about 3 to some, enough money was used for the Mount Coffee Hydro to rehabilitate the Mount Coffee Hydro and give our people electricity, that which will be able to help the other companies and reduce what they are spending on generator or on fuel oil and etc. It was not done under the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But when this government took over, they worked with the LSIG, that is the people who are providing, electricity. We want to do this cross-border electricity supply between the Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, and that of Liberia and Guinea. And they are working on it now, and we are seeing the effect of it. So are we cleaning the mess? Yes, we are cleaning the mess. Let's look at how much was spent in Liberia on the agriculture sector, and we could not yield anything. The last time I checked, there were thousands of dollars that were spent on the agriculture sector. But guess what? This money was placed in the pockets of people. But today, what does government decide to do? That, well, in order for us to be able to adequately impact the agriculture sector, which is gaining weight, especially in other countries, what we need to do is to train professionals. As I speak to you, we have more than 15 agriculturalists that are in Israel, and they are undergoing training. They are undergoing training to come and help in the agriculture sector. As I speak to you, the coffee and the cocoa growers in Liberia, they have formed an association, and government is now working with them to be able to augment and upgrade their cocoa so that it can meet international standards. As I speak to you, we have experts in Liberia. Before this Ebola, we had some people from Turkey that came to help the agriculture sector. So they are there and they are helping. These are all indications, a few indications to just tell you that we are actually, or this government is actually cleaning the mess. Now, I know that the expectation of our people are very high relative to how they want this government to clean the mess. People just want to wake up one morning and see that everything is in place. But remember, it is a process. This government is solving the mess that was created by our forefathers since the era of Joseph Jingi-Rabo, the first president of the Republic of Liberia that we know of. So these are challenges that this government, incurred. So what the government is doing is, solving this problem gradually and speedily and accurately, because this government want to solve a problem, then it re-emerge after its tenure has elapsed.
Thank you, Prince. Let me go to D-Flow.
Let me take it home for my brother. This is the goal.
Hold on, D-Flow. I want to rephrase the question to you so you have time. Has Ellen government created a mess? Is CDC cleaning up that mess or making more mess?
Ellen did not create mess as being portrayed by our friends and brothers in the CDC, my former party. Let me just take it home to you. You guys are creating more mess. You talk about the power plant from the Africa Coast through Liberia, Guinea to Sierra Leone. I know of that project. It's a World Bank project that was initiated by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. That has nothing to do with George Manawia. Again, when you don't have a strategy, you don't have anything to do, you will claim other people's projects. And that is why you guys are doing, that is why you guys are about, because you people are not recognized by the international community. Went to the home. You talk about cutting pay. Granted, you cut pay of people, but you're not paying them on time though. What is the significant? You reduce my pay, I'm making $200, you reduce it to $100, but I can't get it on time. Where does that go? What is the important, what is the significance of you doing it? Oh, I'd rather keep it the way it is. When Eddie was there, she paid them more and they were paid on time. But under George country suffering giant, they have to protest before they get paid. They cut their salary, they can't even get it. So what do you want to tell me, my brother? Prince, I go to Liberia. When I go to Liberia, I don't stop in Masurado. I don't live in a hotel. Nobody takes me around. I visit the inside part of the country. Everything that you have said here, everything that you have put on the table here, you see it from the distance. You have not seen the country. You are being fed through lies. When you talk about Akaros Moses Gray, who had the slogan, clean the mess, he had changed to take it to the bank. Akaros Gray myself went to SDA. He's my brother. I have a lot of respect for him. Politically, he's one person in the CDC I like him. But I want to remind all of you, including my brother Akaros Moses Gray, you people are creating more mess. Let's take it to the draft board. Under your administration, Sami Atoe, the Georgetown University student, get money out to fuller people that have, you cannot locate. You cannot, they got zing houses. They have no place, nowhere that you can locate it and give it to them. Took the money and gave it to Nukru Town and give it to people living in zing houses. How do you expect a man like me, who came from Guinea as a Jalo, with $500 in your pocket, and then you take 15,000 United dollars, you give it to me? That Jalo gone. I will leave. I will leave the next day. I will leave. So when you telling me, say you are coming to clean the mess, you are creating more mess. But what you don't understand is that you don't understand because you don't have the gravitas. You don't have the intuition. You don't understand politics. You people came into this game without bringing on the Redford team. You all entered the field of the political play without the Redford 11 men on the field. You got a goalie, you got a forward, you got a defense, you got the drop back. But you know why? The captain of the team, the coach himself, was never prepared for this job. The coach himself, George Oponwia, my brother, my friend, the president of our dear country, was never prepared to be president of Liberia, and then to drive him home to your pole. He brings in, he hires a bunch of incompetents to sit with him so they all can they can mess up this country because he is afraid of competent people. Let me take it home. What will it do if you have men like Ato Zakama at Telecom, a brain? What will it do if you were to hire a man like Alpha Tupa, a brain? But George Weah, because He's afraid of good people and smart people. That is why he sidelined all of these people. So stop lying to the Liberian people. You go visit Liberia. When you come back, you will likely cry like me and resign for CDC.
Thank you, D-Flow. Mr. Sia, I want to get to a few more comments or one specific comment.
Please do.
There is this thing, and I want us to talk about it. And I want our viewers to even comment on it, and I want our guests to comment on it. There's this thing about numbers, the numbers of people watching a show. The first caller here, the first commenter said, that's why they are always around 70, right? Not many people watch them. Good. So I had a check mark. The second comment, I think, is from Mark Carlos saying, thank you, Prince, for giving them numbers today. So let's talk about numbers. I like numbers. Even God Almighty loved numbers, that he devoted one book in the Bible to numbers, right? But what does numbers show when it comes to show business? Does it show that the platform is balanced? Does it show that the platform is putting out information that the people that is in the interest of the country? Does it mean that the platform is the one that we can use as a standard to measure the progress in Liberia? If numbers determine everything, I think our brothers or the supporters of people who support the CDC or the government, I don't think they should talk about numbers, because two persons stand out to have the highest numbers in all the platforms. That's Henry Porter Costa and Prophet Key. What does that tell us? So if my brothers from the CDC here on this platform want to talk numbers, then they should all be watching the Costa show and the Prophet Key show and give all these Liberian brothers all the marks, because if numbers determine the vitality, if numbers determine that what you are putting out is worth what the country will consume, that will take us to the next level, then Prince and your colleagues should give it up to Prophet Key and Costa. Your take?
I will go in there also. I will even say they should watch Prophet Key. Then don't come here. If it is about numbers, if it is not about content, it is not about, giving information that is balanced. We have two gentlemen here who disagree on almost everything politically. We're giving you two sides, and still you don't see that, and you see us. How can we not be this fair? Most of our shows, you will see that if we bring one group, the following week we will bring the other group. That's how we always do it here, because we believe that politics, people can be divided on the issues. So we always do our best to give people two sides of the argument. And you don't see that on the Costa show. Costa him alone is on his show. He says it as he likes it. Prophet Key is on his show. He says it as he like it. He insults as he feel, and you people enjoy it. Go there and enjoy yourself. If you think that number is the one that determines quality, significance, and substance, then of course the numbers are with Costa, the numbers are with Prophet Key. But I will recommend Prophet Key for you, because when you listen to Prophet Key, maybe you will grow up. How about that? D-Flow.
This thing that we do is public service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people will say you have D-Flow, when you go live, you have only one person watching. And sometimes you even talk to your microphone. Yeah. Nobody's watching you. So you wasting your time. But they don't know the history of Liberia Destiny Debaters. So sometimes we tell them, go on YouTube and look at, just punch in Liberia Destiny Debaters host Josh Manawia, Peace Ambassador. You will see how many people watch our program. It has more than 35,000 people that came in that day. But let me drive you home. You guys, the Focus on Liberia is doing extremely well. I don't worry about people worrying about numbers. It's not about numbers. It's about the message. Are you going to have somebody like Prince Sharif sitting here lying to bring a bunch of CDCs to praise sing it? They say they hear the praise sing the man, right? But you can't praise sing the man. The Prince Sharif is a liar. He's lying. Prince Sharif has not visited Liberia. Prince Sharif, you can't show me your passport that will say you've been to Liberia 2 years ago. No way. You are lying. You never been there. And I'm going to Liberia next year. You want to come with me? Come, let's go see the country. Let's go a la Maserado. See the people that voted George Manawia. how they are so frustrated. They have become disenchanted to the point because they felt that beyond all reasonable doubt, this was the Messiah. So when it comes to a platform and how people view the numbers, what kind of number they're thinking about, if it was basically about number, there wouldn't 2 shows you can watch in the country when it comes to Liberia's politics. You got to go Prophet Key or you go to my brother's show because they have the numbers. I don't have one. Prince Sharif, but there are people that listen to it. There are people that are completely CDC last. They have been programmed to believe everything that you say that is real. And then when you look at the other mercenary in Canada who is unemployed that called for me for the citizen to kill me, he is supposed to, he sits there, he comes on every day, he speaks poor English, instead of him going to school to learn English, he doesn't know a damn thing. That is what the problem is. It is not about the number, it's about your articulation.
Mr. Sharif.
Mr.
Yes,
Sharif,
sir.
we're talking numbers. What's your opinion
Yes,
on that?
sir. I always tell people, I'm not going to speak for, focus on Liberia, but I'm going to speak for myself. I always tell people that you look at number from 2 different angles. You look at numbers that make impact, and you look at numbers that is just there for number. Like I give you an example. On my show, I always tell people, and I'm proud of it, under the Palava Hall, when we talk about numbers, we are talking about those numbers that can make decisions. Those numbers that are able to make 5 to turn into 10 votes or 10 votes into 20 votes. Now, people had all of these numbers before the CDC could become a leading political party in Liberia today. What did the numbers did for them? What the number did for them? So when it comes to number, I always tell people, I am not one who is fascinated by numbers. I am not moved by the numbers. The reason for which I'm saying it is because when one person, one viewer that I know, when that one viewer appear in his true name, that alone will draw almost everybody to me. It will draw almost everybody. And those that are on my platform or on our platform, they are people who make decisions. They are the people who, when they hear, they can be able to make sure that what they hear from this platform or from whatever platform that we go on, that it becomes an issue of national concern. So I'm not moved by that. Somebody go and listen to whoever they want to listen to. People go there for diverse reason or for diverse reason. Some people want to be amused. Some people want to be entertained, and etc., etc. But people who come on my platform, they come there to hear what the government is doing. People come there to hear recommendations from the Liberian people. People come there to be able to hear what the people of the United States or people who are in the diaspora, what are they thinking about their government? So based on that, I can tell you that Prince Sharif show, like some of the positive show we have around, like, our brother, Classic D, like our sister, Rosalie, Confidence D, Pape Flomo, and the rest of the other guys. These guys have the real number because these are numbers that can translate the actual thing that is being said here into physical and tangible assets that we can look at. Sometimes we go on our platform, we make recommendations to government. And you will be surprised that those government officials who are there, they see reason in what we prefer or in what we suggest. So they come on the platform and say, oh yes, this person is making a lot of sense. So anyway, I think we can buy this idea. I think we can do something about this. Like I give you an example. One time on my platform, somebody made this recommendation. The person said, we have observed that at the Liberia Broadcasting Corporation, the people just saying now that they are not going out. We want to suggest that the ELBC people, let them be going outside. Let them interact with the Liberian people. Let us see what is happening in the community. Let us see what is happening in the ghetto. I don't know if probably the honorable director, Mr. Weeks, was on that show. I don't know. I don't know if you were there, even though we are friends, but I don't know if you were there. But I was surprised. After that show, I think a week or two after, I saw the honorable director. Instead of just sitting down in office, I saw him carrying the microphone to the people in the ghettos. I saw him carrying the microphone to the people all the way there in the slum community. So it makes me feel satisfied that when I come on my show, decision makers are there. So when it comes to the number for me, You know, I'm not moved by the 10,000. If I have the 10,000, I will be grateful. If I have the 700, I'll be grateful. But what I'm interested in is that those issues that are proper on my platform, they are actually listening to and they are applied or they are applicable by those who come to listen. So, you know, that's what I can say about that. Yeah.
Thank you, Prince. We just want to give few time for our callers to weigh in.
Hello.
First on the list, hold on, callers.
Prince Sharif, Prince, you know when
Muted.
you talk, our numbers
First on the list will be our man Cyrus.
When he's talking, the numbers are going down. People want to hear from me. Prince is lying. Look at the number. We have 190 now. Prince is talking, going on to 171.
Hold on, D-Flow. Let's bring in Cyrus. Cyrus, you are live. Hello, Cyrus. Caller. All right, Cyrus is kind of a little busy there. Let's look for the next caller. Caller for area code 206.
Hello.
Hello. Your name and where you calling from? Hello. What's your name?
What's wrong with the number?
Let's go to the next caller. Caller, your name and where you calling from? We may have a problem here. Caller, go ahead.
Mr. Jah, leave the call. Let me make adjustment.
Okay,
let me make adjustment.
Let's go back.
Comments. Yeah,
let's go back to our lineup. Let's talk about the right issues and the merit system. And in that, we want to talk about freedom of speech using the Jimama Wolo College scenario, Roots FM, Punch FM, and the rest of it. Then when we come to the merit system, let's talk about that. Let's start with you, D-Flow.
Before I touch that freedom of speech and the rest of the Naya, I want to ask my brother a question. How is the proper agenda working fire? How is it working fire? But let me read this for you though. Under the proper agenda, that a copy and a half year that was given to me by the CDC when I was with the CDC. This is a proper agenda. It says here, the Rising Republic, volume 1 of 1. When is the second one coming up? It says the promises kept, tracking 1 year of proper development initiatives as President Weah cracks down on corruption officials. Are you telling me what happened to Charles Salif? Is he at the center prison? You're cracking down corruption. Let me go further to that. On your proper agenda, it says here on this page, I'm going to read. And listen to me, this. You come and learn politics. This is American politics. We don't play joke around here. You can come on Facebook and say D-Flow is not saying the facts, is a liar. That's up to you people. It's a practical PADP interventions. Unlike in the past, the Weah-led administration has taken significant steps in moving away from foreign aid reliance towards robust domestic resource mobilization, a decision that led to the Liberian Revenue Authority, the LRA, exceeding its projected revenue target for the month of October 2018 by US $7.9 million, equivalent to 22%.
Hold on, D-Flow. Let me try my colors again. Let me try. Cyrus, are you there now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Cyrus, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Your question or comment?
Well, I just want to make a comment. Sure. I've been listening to the show and the topic, it's kind of interesting, so I just thought of calling and making 1 or 2 late points. Prince need to understand there's a difference between propaganda and facts. I think he come on this show, he don't do research. He just come thinking he can use emotion to make an argument. I don't know how you can even make the comparison between the Sally left government and Georgia government. when in fact, every indicator there is, whether it's a corruption index, whether it's the life expectancy, whether it's the delivery of healthcare, whether it's poverty, I mean, by all indicators, Georgia government is one of the worst government we have ever seen in history. And the numbers are there. So I don't know how this guy can come on the show and make the case that Georgia is cleaning the mess. You were ranked number 5 in the world for poverty. You just saw the latest report that you are number 1. You are the poorest country on the planet. You dropped 4 places down. When it came to financial transparency, you just saw the international report. The same thing. You are worse by every standard margin. And you're telling people on the social media platform that you are cleaning the mess. And yeah, it's a funny thing. I like the CDC Partisan trying to take credit for something that they never created. This dude is trying to tell us that the power sharing initiative where you got between Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the Ivory Coast, it was one of Georgia's accomplishments. Are you serious? Bro, when you want to come on social media to make this kind of an argument, like I said, keep doing your research. And one of the things, before coming on the show, I heard you guys talking about the issue with the COP and the protest, because this is like, it's been consistent over time that every time people try to protest, when it comes to the Georgia government, they keep scaring people that you are bringing war, you're trying to destabilize the country. When in reality, it was Georgia that is trying to destabilize the country by every means possible. First of all, the COP submitted a petition. I don't know about who tried to bring war to destabilize the country and first go by submitting a petition to a government. And when you read the COP's petition, those were all recommendations that would have helped the Georgia government by leaps and bounds measure. They talk about reducing pay. I mean, a government employee, you overbloated the government payroll. You added additional 15,000 to the government payroll. And you talk about the Madam Sali government was dishing out money to people who wasn't deserving of this money, right? And you came with some so-called harmonization process. The harmonization process only affected the lower end of the spectrum in terms of pay, and you couldn't even get to pay people on time. Worst of all, you brought more people on government payroll you could barely afford to pay. So why is the logic there is that you can make the case that you try to bring some kind of economic stability by reducing people's salary from Madam Sali government? Because if you want to make people's life better, you must pay them on time and pay them where, you reward them handsomely. You got something called adjustment for inflation.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Government and Madam Sali government. So if you are telling me you came with a salary harmonization process and people cannot even afford basic needs today, if it works, the thing is, Georgia never inherited all these problems. We understand there are some fundamental problems that existed before Georgia. But the question is, Georgia made everything worse, 10 times worse than what it used to be. So how do you come on social media with a bold face and tell people that you are making progress when in fact the country is going down the drain every day? Anyway, thanks for the time, and that was my point. Simple. Thank you.
So can I go on and read the rest of it, and before I say what I want to say to my brother Prince?
Hold on. We have gone over an hour. We want to get few callers in, and then we can continue. So write down the comments from the callers, and then we can let you respond. Caller 3062. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Christmas Daly, and I'm calling from beautiful Maryland.
Christmas, welcome to FOL. Your question or comment?
Sir, this will be a comment.
Sure.
Like I always say, and I will continue to maintain, regardless of my criticism or compliment, I am a seditian and always will be. And one of peace be to her ashes, one of her witches. If somebody called me from Liberia to say Christmas, if you really want to pay a tribute to Munam Peno, I see you are in deep grief and deep sympathy. You knew Munam personally. If you really want to pay a tribute to Munam Peno, she told you what to do. She told you how to pay a tribute to her. Munam Peno said Christmas, and to every one of us, if you really want to pay a tribute to me, let's meet under the sycamore tree. That being said, I will be going to Liberia very soon and be going back under the sycamore tree so that we can readjust and compare notes, settle our differences, and move the party forward. Now, having said that, let's look at the argument about the economy. It's sad when people, it is true the economy is bad. Let me, first of all, since I was far away from my pen and paper when the brother was speaking, I would just speak to one or two issues that he spoke about. He talked about putting a lot of people on the payroll that you can barely pay. Well, maybe that's true, but let's see where that came from. It is true that the reason why the pressure today is on the CDC-led government, because we all know the Liberian people have suffered so much that we all, including me, that's where part of my frustration comes from. Our expectation was so high. We did not know how much was in the budget. We did not know how much, how good the system was or how bad the system was. So we all have very high expectation and expected things to change overnight. But little did we know that things could not actually change overnight. Now, having said that, the reason why President George will have to accommodate a lot of people on the payroll is because Malam Salif in 12 years could not provide jobs for the average Liberian. There are people in Liberia under Malam Salif with master's degree with no job. So you can't tell me President George is wrong for accommodating the people, cutting other people's salary. That's why you call being your brother, for lack of better words. Let me say being your brother's keeper, right? If I'm making $10 an hour, you say, Christmas, my man, you're working full-time job, you're making $10 an hour. D-Flow is not working right now, and D-Flow has family to feed. So Christmas, what's going to happen? We're going to cut your hours. You're going to work part-time so that we can accommodate D-Flow to work part-time, at least so he can take something home. I think that is a very fair argument. All right? I think that's a very fair argument on that one. Now, you want to talk about security? Under George Weah and Malam Salif, I agree our security sector is bad. That's why I'm going back on the documentary so we can have some serious conversation about security. But don't tell me about security from Malam Salif when you cannot tell me how Harry Green was murdered in broad daylight, found on the beach with not even a water was on him. He was murdered. Was there any sign investigation? How did I go? Who has been prosecuted? What is the breadth of that investigation? Don't tell me about security under Malam Salif because there is not much to compare. Okay. Now, we'll come back to the economy. I want to reference you to President William Aaron Forward. Let me start wrapping up. So I will land right here. I will land right here. On President William Aaron Forward, go on YouTube, search interview with President William Aaron Forward. 1972, President William Aaron Forward was crying about the economy being very wet and very bad. In 1972, George Weah was only 5 years old. If an economy that was messed up 1972, when George Weah was only 5 years old, and you're expecting to fix it in 3 years, that's very unreasonable. So let community people bring the debate. Let different people bring the debate. If you from Unity Party, don't bring no debate to me because I don't want to talk to you because you don't. Apparently you're blind. Apparently you don't know the debate. If you from Unity Party, I don't want to debate with you. Go argue with somebody else. I want to debate with somebody from ANC who can say, oh, matter of fact, all of them, even communists working in a Unity Party-led government. Even you were working in a Unity Party-led government. So don't let a neutral, concerned Liberian come with the debate and then we'll argue. But if you work in Malam Salif government, especially Unity Party people, I don't want to debate with you because you have no argument. Thank you.
Can you take a debate with me?
I wish you would. I wish they could organize one for us.
Okay,
I wish you would.
It's up to them now. There's a challenge up there. But can I make a quick response?
Hold on, D-Flow. You have a pen and paper? Please write it down. We want to take a few callers. Right? Okay. Area
yes,
code.
sir.
All right. Thank you, Christmas. Let's take our next caller. That's 3301. 3301, your last 4 digits, your name and where you calling from.
My name is B. Johnson, calling from Maryland.
Sir Johnson.
To a point, yes. Let me make Christmas to know this. If you're a scary soldier, when you were dancing around, talking all kinds of stuff, when he went Liberia, at the end of the day, I was monitoring him. Can't say that, oh, red night, now he say that and this. Mr. Christmas, where was Joe Weah when the other guy from the bank got killed broad day? And they say, car hit him.
Michael Innes.
We can't find the body. Who killed that person? And Mr. Prince, I'm going to tell you 24/7. Don't be lying to the Liberian people. When last have you ever been to Liberia? As my brother was saying to you. Have you been to Liberia since the past 3 years? Because I've been there 2017, 2018, 2019. This is 2020 before the corona just came. I just came September before the corona came about. And I was even thinking of going now. Do you know what the cost of the rest is doing? Madam Eddie Johnson said it time. When I went there, I bought rest for $2,250. Presently, the rest going to $4,000. Where is the similar check or similar package? The $25 million that is just given to you people. If the Senate have not signed that document to have passed that law, you have said that the government of the senators have refused to give the rest to the people. How many rests have they distributed? People are crying over there. People are going to Summit Tour Saturday, like yesterday. I monitored something on Summit Tour, or someone just want to Summit. The blind people want to Summit Tour to beg him for for money. He never even came out and said, I don't have money. Do you think it's the right way to carry the country forward? If you talk about citizens, Mr. City, I was one of those that was CDC, but I would never, ever in my life, never, ever go to CDC. Never, ever. I better to not be partisan. Let me tell you this. Don't fool the people. Go under your sacrament tree because you are afraid. Maybe they are giving you something to play on the Liberian people. But we'll not sit here for anything to happen to our people. We know how it is right now. People are begging in the streets. They have for $50 to pay their way, and they're not paying their way to say, to buy food. When Madam Eddie Johnson Sirleaf was in power, how many students was going to school? There were over 1 million of students. Presently, you only have almost 7,000 students going to school. Why?
Thank you, sir.
Instead of going forward, you're demoting us behind. Then you say they are too surprised of you. You are making me say the respect I have for you. You're my small brother. I really regret of you. Don't fool yourself, City. Don't fool yourself. Stay to where you are, City, and be an advocate. Be a very advocate, City. I respect you, City.
Sir,
have
let
a
me
better
take my
day.
next caller.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you. Let me take one more caller and then we'll go to you, our guest.
Hello.
Caller with 8420. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Emmanuel Soma, and I call from Virginia this afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good.
Is that Emmanuel Soma from the police?
All right. So, quick education for your first call. Quick education for your first caller, and quick education for D-Flow. The first education for the first caller, saying that Liberia is ranked #1 as the poorest country in Africa, is a blatant lie. Even Dallas didn't admit that he lied about it. And so that is a blatant lie. Liberia is ranked number 159. Liberia is ranked 159. Go on Google. And in Africa, Liberia is at 10th place. So that's false. Number two, what do you feel these guys don't understand about government? Is government is continuity. I heard people talking about, the government cannot pay her own people. Do you know that the Georgia government inherited 3 to 4 months pay of the CPP legislature under Madam Sirleaf that she did not pay? And President government had to pay them for 3 to 4 months that were owned by the United Party government? Do you know that President government inherited over $10 million from the United Party government for the Liberian Electricity Corporation? Even the beach worker that was just protesting, they said that they worked for since 2017. So it was from the Sirleaf administration. But let me just make people to understand. The reason why you see Madam Sirleaf were able to move 12 years smoothly in Liberia is by the assistance, the help of UNMIL, the highest employer of Liberia doing Madam Sirleaf 12 years. It was the United Nations mission. Like myself, I used to work with the UNMIL. Now, if Madam Sirleaf government had not had UNMIL in Liberia, my brother was going to be more chaotic than ever before, because the presence of UNMIL created cash flow in Liberia. UNMIL were renting houses for $1,000, $500. At the same time, UNMIL had to employ like a horse boy, horse girl. So all these people, at the end of the month, they have a salary. They were taking care of the people. Since UNMIL left, all the horses that UNMIL turned over to the private owner, they can no longer find people to take over the horses. So the withdrawal of UNMIL from our economy, from our country, it created a major gap in our economy. When I listened to Professor Kappa, he said Liberia had the worst economy even from the 80s. It's just that every time they sugarcoat it. It's just a person where it's exposing everything. That's why you get to know. You understand? People should do research before they come on media to say that this person. No, we're not saying anyone is corrupt or no one is not corrupt. First of all, Madam Sirleaf took a lot of blame. When her son was in a lot of corrupt practices, she said she took the responsibility. When her finance minister was in of corrupt practices, she took the responsibility. When the foreign minister were in with corrupt practices, she took the responsibility. You understand? But let me ask D-Flow and the rest of the guys. Let me just ask D-Flow quick. Because every time they're talking about if you're talking about country above politics, look, if you study politics, there is time in politics that your country interest will supersede your political party interest. And if you do politics, you will know that there is time that your political institution interest come first. Just a gist of that education, the impeachment of President Donald Trump that went to the lower house to the Senate, it was completely political. It was not about America. It was about Democrats defending their political institution and the Republicans defending their political institution. The Democrats impeached Donald Trump in the lower house because they were in majority.
Let's just keep it to Liberia.
President Trump. I'm getting
just wrap up. We want our panelists to come in.
Yeah, okay. The Senate protected President Trump in the Senate because of the political
just leave the American politics. Let's go to Liberia.
There are times that we defend our political institution, and the reason we defend our political institution because all these problems been existing for the past 172 years before this young man took over.
Thank you.
For the first time in the history of Liberia, this is the first person who built a hospital in 2 years of his administration. This is the first person in the history.
Thank you.
This is the first person in the history of Liberia that announced a tuition fee. You understand?
Are you killing me?
Thank you.
Finally.
No, that's enough, man. That's enough.
All right. Let's go to our panelists, and the rest of the callers will bring you in. Let our panelists weigh in before they get bored.
Should I go?
Yes, go.
Let Prince go first. You
okay,
went first.
Prince, go ahead.
Let Prince go first. Prince.
Yeah. Let me just think.
But you got to time also. Prince,
Prince, 2 minutes.
Let me just thank all of the callers. You see, it is unfortunate when you, as an educated person, decide to follow the idea of other people without checkmating it or without making sure that it is substantive. What am I saying? Someone jumped from the blues and tell us that Liberia is the poorest country. I don't know where they get that record from. I don't know which one of the page they went on to do that research. But it's unfortunate. And I want to thank God that my brother who called, one of the callers just dealt with that adequately. Now, the second issue about this alleged 16 billion or whatever that my brother D-Flow spoke about. It is unfortunate that people like D-Flow will not read, but they will come and continue to, duel the argument on hearsay or they say. To demystify the myth or to be able to provide clarity to that particular 16 billion or 25 million or whatever million. The international community that D-Flow trusts, the international community that D-Flow said he will listen to, the international community that D-Flow said they were the most transparent to be able to investigate that matter was called to do an investigation. And they came up with a report, which is on the net, which we have, we have adequately read over and over and over with time without number. But D-Flow will come here and start talking about 16 and 25 million issue. This is just an example to tell us that D-Flow is out of touch and he needs to come back on touch. A brother call and talk about
Are you serious?
Talk about the presentation of recommendation to government by the COP. Are you kidding me, my brother? When did the COP give the government of Liberia a recommendation? Focus on Liberia is a living witness. When they went for the protest, they were asked to present a document. And what did they do? They kept hauling and pulling that they could not present anything to the government. Up to now, the government have not received a single sheet of paper that we know of from the COP. But you jump up here and tell us that, these are people that deceive the public and these are people for which we will not sleep. Because they do not do a fast check of their information. They do not do a fast check. They just jump for anything they hear from Henry Costa basement, they come and say it. Anything they hear because they are opposition. So anything somebody say against the government, you jump up and say yes. Like my brother said, and I want to thank my brother, relative to the issue of employment. You know why led to now we are seeing an increase? Thank God that he himself said it in government payroll or, the level of employees. Before Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf could leave, there were many teachers that were on standby. They used to call it in Liberia standby payroll. They were on standby payroll, though they were working, but they said, well, and you're just be there, we found a way to pull you in. This president took over, or when this government took over, they decided that, look, we cannot pull down these huge numbers. We need them. So what do? Let us factor them in the payroll so that they too can provide their own services to their motherland. Is it a crime? Somebody talk about me going to Liberia. Let me tell you something. I told us on this platform that I go to Liberia often. My going to Liberia will not be a public service announcement. I do not go to Liberia, to make public service announcement. I will not try and say, yeah, I'm going to Liberia or come and take picture. I'm one person who don't even like to, it's just now the social media is trying to change some behavior of us, but I don't even like it. So when I go to Liberia, I will not make public service announcement. When I go to do what I'm going there to do, I go there to do it, and I sit down easily and quietly. So get it clear. I do not make announcement on social media. I owe nobody here. Nobody is paying my way to go to Liberia. And I go there for a purpose, for a reason, and that which I'm going there for is between me and the reason that I'm going there for. So when I tell you that I go to Liberia often, I know you are confused because other people go to Liberia to go and seek political relevance or to be able to, go and look for jobs. So they are all around the place. But for some of us, we respect that. We respect that behavior of them. We respect that. But for some of us, when we go there, we go for a purpose, for a mission. And once we go, when that mission is accomplished, we come right back to equip ourselves and see how best we can be able to support. So somebody saying that because I'm not going to Liberia, that's why I don't know about things, then you are kidding me. Because even now, after this show, I'm going to Liberia. People must understand that your presence can be felt in two different ways. These are things that people don't understand. Your presence can be felt physically, and your presence can be felt through whatever you are doing there. Right now, as soon as I leave upon this show, I'm going to Liberia. So these are things that people must understand. It doesn't mean because you are in Liberia, so you know what is obtaining in Liberia more than me that is not physically present there. My people are begging you. Don't learn. Don't take time and learn.
Your 2 minutes out.
That has gone about 7 minutes.
Your 2 minutes expired. D-Flow.
He did 7 minutes. He did 7 minutes.
D-Flow 7 minutes. No.
Yeah, they made this 7 minutes. I'm looking at the clock here. I got 4 computers here looking at all
that clock at Liberian time. Go ahead.
Okay, I take that. Except that you are in the lead. But we say, my brother, we say the Christmas City. I'm sorry for you. Thank God that you're going back to your party. Maybe they have offered you something. But I hope you come on the platform so I can check mark you and tell you and educate you when you talk about, I don't know, debate. We are called the great debaters, if you don't know that. But let me just take you back, though. My brother Prince, when you talk about the 16 billion others and the international community that I trust and so many Liberians put their trust in, they said there was no money missing. Then why did you people handcuff Charles Salif? Why did you people handcuff Ned Jones? Why did you handcuff all of these people when they already told you there was no money missing? Until you answer that question, I want you to go take a look at the record. That I have the report. I was the one.
You say Mel Jones was handcuffed?
No, Jones. What the other guy? What's the guy? One of the Jones. Was that Mel or something? Not Mel Jones.
No, Jones was handcuffed.
Weeks were handcuffed. Thank you for that. Weeks were handcuffed along with a couple of other guys. I was the one that reported when the 16 billion report was going to be released to the public. And then I was with the CDC. That information was given to me by one of my sources at the time that was assigned with me. But let me take you home, Mr. My brother. You don't know much about the 16 billion. You have no understanding of 16 billion. I was close to the authority of the CDC. I was the one that told the Liberian people when the release was going to come out. So I know a lot about the 16 billion. And then you run on to talk about teachers. What's the now your leader, our leader, my brother George Oponwia, that said he wanted to bring 6,500 teachers from Nigeria? But he saw all of these teachers on standby, though. He saw all of them on standby, but he said, I'm going to bring 6,500 teachers from Nigeria. Who does that? Who does that, Mr. Incompetent? Then you drive on and talk about the economy, this and that. You got to be not serious about this, my brother. You gotta be serious. Go to Liberia. When I was going to Liberia, I did not announce I was going to Liberia. I left and I went to Germany in a political meeting. I slept in a hotel the next day before I flew to Liberia. I was in transit. I left on the 27th of June. I did not arrive in Liberia until 3 days later. So why are you going to tell me when I go to Liberia, I'm going to make an announcement? I go to Liberia and assess for myself, because as a broadcaster, you need to assess. You need to assess for yourself so you see what the realities are. You don't just set them distant and read on your front page or Daily Observer, the rest of the other news. You don't do that. You got to go on the street. But when you come in and talk about this proper agenda, which I have a copy that was going to be by the CDC when I went to the CDC that was sent by my brother, good friend Joseph Temba Jackson, it says that you are going to have a budget surplus. You were not going to deal with you were never going to get money from what? The international community. Oh, how much did you get just recently? How much did you get? Also, your proper agenda was set up for you, to not borrow money, was set up for you not to get aid from the international community. But where are you? What is your revenue intake? What has the Liberia Revenue Authority done? You have every year the budget cycle 2020 and 2021 has not even been submitted by Crooked Toy. What do you have to tell me? I'm informed. Then I don't need to do research. I'm informed when it comes to these things because I was close to authority. In this paper, it says clearly you guys were going to create jobs. How many jobs have you created in Maserado? Let's take Maserado. I'm not talking about Liberia. Let's take Maserado for example. How many jobs has the CDC government created compared to Ellie? This is the only government that I know. This is the only administration. No investor has come to Liberia. You got a wool chipping company, you call that investor? A wool chipping company? And when Ellie was in power, Liberia was a market ground. Everybody wanted to do business in Liberia. But under our leader, our brother, my friend, George Oponwuya, no investor is coming to Liberia. It's a crooked environment. The people steal. You go to invest in Liberia, they tell you to give them 10%. Who does that? These are a bunch of hustlers. And when we tell you that we're enemy of the state, you cannot ride on these things. They will not work. I took you to a point. You talk about the University of Liberia in one of your exposes. How can you say the University of Liberia is free? Oh, I just looked on the website as you were talking here, though. The University of Liberia registration will be starting. They are telling students they have to pay. Excuse me. So if the university is a free institution, why are they telling students you got to do your registration? You have to put this amount down. Just stop this lie. It will not cross across. You can say this to citizens though, because they are within your gap. You can lie to them. You are a propagandist, and part of this is you have to be party discipline. The doctrine of the party is make everything look perfect, even if you know it is not perfect. So I'm not going to run the clock. I'll leave it like that.
Thank you. Let me go back to my callers and bring on Zina. Zina, you are live. Question or comment? Hello, caller 0845.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I have myself on mute. That's why.
Okay, no problem.
This is Zinan Dakinas Doa, the only court of Colorado. I've been here listening to our brothers and hearing their takes on the government, but I'm not really seeing a lot of scholarship into the discussion because when you want to debunk somebody or you want to back somebody, come up with facts. At least be able to tell what happened prior than what is happening now. You make more sense if you do that. And the other thing I want to point out real quick about this dude called Sheriff, if I may ask, Sheriff and what's the other dude name? And the party chairman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Molu, or Chairman Molu. Who has more facts compared as per the government? Both of them. If the party chairman can come out and outline all the ills in the government, who is Sheriff? So come on and tell the government is doing good. When the chairman, the chairman telling us about the flaw, the corrupt practices. When you come here to defend the government, Sheriff, come with facts like how many jobs has the government created? Like G Floor just asked for. How many people has the government taken off the street? How many, when it comes to the basic commodities, how improved have we been? How many price tax cut have we had? Look at the labor sector. How many people have the government put to job within the labor sector? How many teachers have been employed? How many girls have been taken off the street as prostitutes? How much students pass the test on a job with our government compared to students on an alien government? When you're comparing both government, you got to bring up facts. Debate is not just about mere perception. It's about coming up with facts to validate your points. And I think it's very pseudo to come out here and compare government and compare the failure of a government based on the past of another government. Like how naive Christmas City was. He comparing 1980, whatever the year was. He said that some president said the economy was squandering. I'm rephrasing, I'm paraphrasing. So in scholarship, we call that an appeal to history. Because someone else has failed, that means if I fail, that's okay. You can't be more dumber than that. As a leader, when you take power, you build. Leaders build foundation. Let's assume that Liberia had no leader. We are the first leader. Who are you going to shed the blame on? I need an answer for that. As a leader, you build your own foundation. You don't base your failure on the failure of another government. That's a good point to make, though. I'm not denying that you cannot make that. But you cannot look at that as a definitive standpoint to fail. Look at how much corruption has been taking place since we have become president. Look at how much killing has taken place since we have become president. So the excuse now would be because Eddie failed, another dumb leader that we have, because she failed, so it's okay that Joey has failed. So where are we heading? Who are we going to look at as a leader to alleviate the country from where it's at? Then we got brothers coming out here, looking at everything that's going on. We still got brothers coming out here saying the country is okay. That's where some of us frustration is. People come out here, even though we're looking at the evidence back home, people don't got food to eat. Those that you guys see on Facebook going live, watching us in America here, those are people who can afford it. Those are maybe about 50,000 out of the whole 4 million people. 50,000 out of 4 million. When people see those things, they think that the country is okay. Do you know how many pregnant women in Liberia get baby on their back selling cola just to survive? Then yet they're noticing that we are okay?
Thank you,
Zina. How many jobs has this dude created?
Zina,
it's so frustrating, man. Yeah, thanks for the show.
Yeah, thank you. Let me take my next caller, 734 area code. There's a last digit 1036. Your name and where you calling from?
Mr. Jal?
Yeah.
Yeah, before that caller, hold on just a moment. Folks watching us here, focus on Liberia. We pin a link at the bottom of the last field. We are about 100 plus, following this broadcast, or you are about 100 plus. We want all of you to decide your debate winner based on your observation so far. The link is at the bottom of the last feed. Click on that link and vote your debate winner, and then we will put the result on the screen. Mr. Jai.
Right, and there are people saying, I see somebody, I didn't want to respond, but just to, because every time we come here, we want to educate as much as we can. People say, hey, you are only taking callers that are opposition. So please, if you are there, call. We have our list here. We can show you that we are taking the callers based on the time that they are in. Okay, our next caller, the 763 just drop up. So let me go to the 215 area code. 8339, the last 4 digits. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Henry Saki. I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Henry Saki, welcome to FOL. Question or comment?
Yeah, comment. Let me say thanks to you guys for the program. You know, you will always get credit in everything. You guys doing well. No more is not a matter. I monitor you guys, and then you're very passionate on your job and your balance on your information. But regards to the issue, let me just buttress the last quarter. Brother, you that just called, I really admire you. You hit the nail, the hammer on the nail regarding the discussion. You spoke up everything in my mind. But this is just what I see Liberia to be. People will just support people because they feel that they are in that political party. They both guests in there. They are all supporting themselves. Even the D-Flow man, before, he was once promoting the St. George Weah. Today, until he can come out to say why his frustration is that he's not supporting George Weah, it's best known to himself. In how much there are certain things he's saying is true about this government, it's real. And like for my brother Prince, It's just a normal thing. Prince will never say any ugly thing about CDC. That one is just weird. Because it's just starting for people to, I want people to go Liberia and see how our people suffering. If you look at people thinking about what they will eat the next day, people will not come on social media to be saying things what they're not seeing on the ground. Just visit Liberia and go see how the people suffering. Food is a listen. We in America here, we get wet, we get paid on time, we live in AC. But our people over there not even getting the facility. Then when you come on air, looking at the reality on ground, then you want to be supportive based on your own personal interest. I just even surprised of my brother and Christmas City. I guess he has been convinced otherwise. So today now he's speaking some positive thing about this government that he was bombarding this few days. So this is how Liberia going to be if I'm friendly with a person, seeing the person interest. I want something and I will just look at what and say it's black.
Thank you.
I don't have much to say. I mean, just bought the last caller. I really admire you, brother. You hit the nail, the hammer on the nail. I really admire your comment. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Let's bring in Pape Flomo.
Man, who can show his face when he goes live?
Pape Flomo, you are live.
Yes, hello.
Yes,
thank you very much for having me.
You can't debate me, but you will show your face.
Good. No problem, I'll show my face, D-Flow. No problem, I'll show my face.
Thank you.
Now, the argument that when was the last time this person went to Liberia or you are not in Liberia, I mean, it just don't make sense, and this is the reason why. We have people who have never left Liberia. They're still there today, but they are still supporting the George Weah government, and some of them are saying the Weah government is doing well. Are those people not in Liberia? Do we have to leave America and Europe and go there before we see? There are people that currently live in Liberia. They've never left the country since the war started. They currently live there and they support the government and they say the government is doing well. So you don't have to go there before you know. Look, you make reference to Guinea. Look at Guinea. Look at Ivory Coast. Look at Rwanda. Look at Sierra Leone. Have you been to those countries? How do you know their economic status? Have you been there? You haven't been there. So there are people living in Liberia who have never left the country, but they are still praising the government. They are saying the government is doing well, even though there are challenges. So the idea that one should be in Liberia before you know what is going on in Liberia, I think it doesn't make sense. Number two, my question goes to D-Flow. D-Flow, in the last 2 years of Ellen Johnson's relief, was the trajectory of our economy in a positive direction or it was in a negative direction? In the last 2 years, be honest.
Thank you, Pape Flomo. All right. Let's go to our panelists. D-Flow, you start first to respond to our callers.
Thank you again, Mr. Host here. Dennis Jai, I want to say the fellow Liberians, we have to be honest to ourselves and to the Liberian people in general. When we talk about the trajectory, as my man Papi Flomo said here, I hope one day they will bring you on a platform, or you can start a platform with any other talk show. Maybe Prince Sharif can host us anywhere. I would be glad to be a part. Only when you can show your face and not talk in the back that it to say you don't have a face. But to answer your question, if we go back to look at why the Unity Party did not win the 2017 election, you're telling me to give the trajectory of the economy, I would say to you, the economy at the time on the early, it slows down, and it was a bit, it kind of slowed down a little bit. But when you drive that forward, that's one of the reasons why we usher in a new government. We made you market your leader, George Oponwia, to the Liberian people that you are the change agent. So we can't keep going back and talking about, well, the economy was bad. But let me read this for you though. On the dual currencies here, it says dual currencies, right? The government's quite fixed stabilization solution. Liberia is still one of the few countries that continues to use the United States dollar alongside its own local currency as legal tenors. The dual currency situation has elevated debates, not only among the common folks, but at a level of the national legislature. There is now a call for a single currency regime. As these debates go on, the average Liberian naira exchange rate with reference to the United States dollar continued to depreciate from $117 Liberian dollars to one United States dollar in 2017. That's just before Georgia had the top state power. Let's go fast forward to 157. Excuse me. It was what? 100 and what? According to your Upropo Ajana, 117. Right after George Oponwia took state power, it began to climb the ladder to 157.8 Liberian dollars to one United States dollars. That's at the end of 2018. That was totally on Georgia. On Georgia, within 1 year, the United States dollar moved from 117 to 157.8. Let's move on, D-Flow. At its lower level, before the government intervention, $1 United States dollar was being exchanged at 180 Liberian dollars. It goes on to say, this massive depreciation of the Liberian dollar was primarily driven by the deterioration of the economies, the country's terms of trade, and an increase in demand for the United States dollar. Whose watch? Whose watch? George Oponwia. You can't throw this out there, my brother. The records are there. I was in Liberia.
Thank you. Let Prince respond to our callers.
Yes, sir. I'm listening to callers, and again, I respect their views and I respect, their own assertion. But I think it is unfortunate. You see, this is the reason why some of us people don't give us the opportunity to sometimes go on their platforms. Because when we get on these platforms, we go there with facts and not with someone's perception. But Flomo just made a good point. Just few hours from now, you are going to see people posting a picture from Nigeria or from Ghana, even from the United States, and want to compare it to Liberia. Some of them never been to those areas, but they will want to do the comparison. So it is unfortunate. If you want to judge me by that, then go find somewhere to sit down. Now, another brother talk about, killings going on in Liberia. Then it means that you are not reading. Here is a report from the United Nations, from the United States Embassy, the Embassy of the United States of America, grading this government for the past 3 years. The report was just released, I think in less than 3 weeks. I have the report right here. And let me just show it to people so that, they can know that when we are speaking with facts. Sometimes we don't come to show this thing out because we've already, read them and we know what all of them are about. But here is the report. Here is the report that was released June 4th. Here is the report. Here is it, right on my phone here. It's right here.
What's the website?
You can post the link.
This report is from the United States Embassy. Now, the United States Embassy hailed the government for her excellent performance under this 3 years. It's not in hiding. Just go United States Embassy in Liberia. Hail this government for the 3 years performance. For, the exceptional, a very democratic process that they are experiencing under this government. They even went as far as injecting in this report that under this government, we do not have no political prisoner. That under this government, there is no political killing. That under this government, the freedom and the rights of people who hold the mic under the banner of journalists is being respected. That we have a law to be able to protect them. They also spoke on the gender issue that government is taking a substantive, effort in making sure to bring the issue of especially the less fortunate, a group of our society to, a very, very, very open light. Then you come up and tell me that nothing is happening. Then it means that you are not reading. And these are the people. I'm sorry, let me check this thing. I think my phone is dying.
Okay, let me use part of your time saying you don't have
let's go to our callers. Why Prince? We have a lot of
we're
calls
gonna
here.
go. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure
callers.
that my device is on charge. So you see that all of these that have lamented relative to giving people the opportunity to speak out under the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we never had an instrument to guide journalists. Vandela Patrick is in America here. He is a living witness of the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf chasing after him and almost killed him because he exercised his fundamental right of speaking against some ill. Simon Freeman is another witness of what I'm saying. Mr. Simon Freeman was chased out of Liberia. And he ran out of Liberia. It was
as he chased Costa out of Liberia
that he went back to Liberia. It was true on an arrangement that he went back to Liberia. So when you are seeing all of these circumstances, and you come here to tell me that the Liberian people are suffering and the Liberian people this and that, then you are kidding me. Now, I read a report from the government of President Tobo, the true wing government of President Tobo. All right. Anyway, let me just
let's get more callers, and then you have the opportunity to respond.
Right.
This time is Leo Johnson joining us from Canada.
Hey, Leo, thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Jai, and thank you to your two guests.
Little volume.
I'll just be brief.
Little volume, Leo.
Yeah, can you hear me? Is it much better now?
Yeah, much better.
Yes. So here's my comment and my question at the end of the comment. I'm always baffled when I hear people come out to defend the government, because I hear a lot of people, like I heard my brother Prince talking about all the ills that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government did, all the corruption that went on. We even have a record that the CDC government said it didn't need any money in the coffers, and Madam Sirleaf said about $150 million was in the coffer. According to them, $16 billion was missing. People were arrested as recent as a few weeks ago. They still maintain that people illegally printed $16 billion and the bulk of it is not accounted for. What I can understand, now that CDC government in power, what has stopped them from auditing the past government to establish these things to convince the Liberian people that CDC government is not to be held accountable for it? Number two, how come all these people that the CDC government has said over and over are responsible for pillaging and stealing the Liberian people money and the wealth of the country? How come CDC now has power and has refused to prosecute any of these people, or even conduct just an audit? Let's forget about prosecuting anybody. Just conduct a forensic audit and give us an account of what you met there before fixing. You can't be fixing a mess that you cannot show us proof that there was a mess. So I would like to hear Prince Sharif speak to how come CDC has refused at every turn to just simply audit the past government, let the Liberian people know here is the audit report of what the previous government did before we took over. Our job now is to fix the mess. My last question is this. When it comes to the proper agenda, how come when people defend the CDC government, they don't go into the proper agenda to tell us what is the progress report of the... I don't hold Joshua responsible for anything he didn't promise. I hold the CDC government accountable for the commitment that they made. And that commitment agenda, and not even 5% of that agenda has been accomplished. Where is the report card on the proper agenda to let us know how far it has gone?
Thank you, Leo. Let's take our next caller. That's this number is local 678. Your last 4 digits 5529. You're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Dennis, how are you? Welcome to Liberia family. This is Robert Gagwart calling from Atlanta.
Oh, Robert Glegben Gagwart Jr. You are live. Question or comment?
Absolutely. So look, I've been listening to the conversation, and I'd like to thank both of your guests in studio for their changes. I'm not going to dilute the debate. But I found it very interesting, and I'm going to speak directly to D-Flow. D-Flow, look, Liberia has a lot of problems, and one of the reasons why I continue to not be a part of any political, I call it political club in Liberia, is because of the lack of true political institutions, right? Every political party, not just in Liberia, every political party in the world at large has problems, but they are fundamental ideologies different. when it comes to political party. I'll give you the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, for instance. I mean, there's a whole different conversation we can have. In Liberia, I don't know the difference between Unity Party, what they stand for, as opposed to CDC and what CDC stands for. I don't know the difference between Liberty Party and so forth and so on. But when you, as a Liberian and an intellectual, decides to join a political party, I believe it is based on what you stand for. It is based on what you believe in and not just who you believe in and not just your relationship and so forth. It would be interesting for D-Flow to tell us exactly why he was part of CDC. I mean, D-Flow paraded Facebook. He showed us CDC. He showed us George Weah. This guy even went as far as insulting good, decent Liberian in the name of George Weah. And he went on, he had many lives. This guy even cried on social media that CDC was the answer. All of a sudden, he is now a spokesperson for the agenda of CPP. I mean, I think these are the problems in Liberia. These don't have no credibility. These don't have absolutely no credibility to talk about. No, let me learn 1 second. These don't have no credibility to talk about what the problem is with George Weah and how come now CPP is the answer. He has no credibility. Why should people believe him?
Thank you. D-Flow, you got your work cut up, but let me take two more callers, and then we go to our panelists. Miriam Roberts, you are live.
How you doing?
Great.
Good. How are you?
Actually, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say anything much. Prince, I'll give you my little advice. Okay, D-Flow are talking here. Just how you sound me on social media right now, D-Flow are worse than you. Okay, so right now I just sitting here enjoying the whole drama. The problem about sedition. D-Flow, that's sedition. Prince, that's sedition.
No,
so the both of them not totally confused.
Former citizen.
When D-Flow talk about CDC, D-Flow get no equal. And then the same thing with Prince. Nobody will say anything about CDC. D-Flow will not answer you back. That's the same thing Prince doing here right now. Prince never been to Liberia for how many years? The moment D-Flow went to Liberia, he took visit and he came back, his whole attitude changed. So Prince, my little advice I get to give to you, slow down. Because you end up being like D-Flow. That's all I get to say.
Thank you, Maria. Let's go to James Quay. James Quay, you will be our last caller, and then we go to our panelists. James Quay, you are live.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you find yourself. Thank you for the program, guys. I just got a very, quick thing to say. For correction here, for information, Mr. Sharif, actually, I did block you because I didn't want to hear the messy things you say with regard to what's going on in our country. I don't think you are realistic to Liberian people. You are not being realistic. And for everyone who's getting angry with D-Flow, it's better when a person realizes things are not right, the person comes back, and give his few excuses and beg you to forgive. But what Prince and other people are doing is they are giving a picture of Liberia that does not exist under this particular government. Liberia right now, I can guarantee you, Liberia is so much depreciating that even people that were able to at least find one meal per day cannot even get a meal for 2-3 days. I just came from on the line with my mom. My mom is in Liberia. We do everything to support her. But besides my mom, when you talk to people who are neighbors, that's how you get to know how the country is progressing. Let's stop what we are doing. You are promoting your government is good. But when you call for a change, when you came for a change, and you realize that the change that you promise the people, instead of them progressing, they are, they are depreciating. It's not a good sign of a good government. To be very frank, I block you, Sherry, because you say a lot of things that is not that doesn't hold water. So, thank you very much for the program, but stop lying to our people. The truth about the matter is that our brother George Manawia, he just messed up the whole thing. He just messed up the whole thing. He's not a leader. I wish he could just give it away. Thank you.
Thank you, James. We have we'll go back to our callers, or we'll go back to our panelists. I have just posted a link on Facebook on the feed from USA Today on the ranking 25 poorest countries. So I know we're having a little discussion about that. So just click on that link and look at the 25 poorest country in the world according to USA Today. After our panelists, will be hearing from Desmond Finlay, and 2 more persons will be closing on our calls. So let's go to D-Flow. Your response to our caller. 2 minutes.
I want to say this. I'm not sure.
Prince, hold on. Let me, Prince. I don't know if you decide to go sideways.
You put your camera outside and presume.
Okay.
Set your camera, your phone.
Go ahead. Go ahead, D-Flow.
I don't know if I need to explain to Liberia one by one why I left the CDC. And I think if I have to do this, maybe I'm going to have to live for 200, 300 years. And I don't think my creator is even going to give me the opportunity to do that. I have said and explained to you people, the purpose of my trip to Liberia was an assessment. When I was at the CDC, I hope y'all give me some time, because I want to put this thing to rest.
It's 2 minutes.
D-Flow, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, so Samuel Twai kept giving me invites to go to Liberia for all the shit and talk. This is a man that he and I used to talk every day. He would text out information. He would text me, and I would text him. He would call. He would call me. I would call him. We'd talk. We'd chat. Samuel Twai is a friend. We all lived in Brooklyn Park before he moved to Liberia. So my visitation was not about a job. No, Samuel Twai and myself never discussed job. The last time Samuel Twai posted on a page that I wanted money from him. But what he did not remember is he had tried to offer me $15,000, and I said in a text to me that I'll give you immediately $1,500. Do not leave the CDC. I have the text. So why would somebody say I went for a job? I never applied for a job. I went there for 1 week. He wanted to extend my stay. I said I'm out. I left the country. Who is seeking who here? I didn't go to the city for a job. I didn't go for money. He tried to bribe me, and I said I didn't want to be a part of their crooked deed. I walk away from the country. And then when somebody said I have no credibility, what will you say, my brother Robert Gabo, what will you say about John Weah, who just lied about his nasty resident, that it was for his son Timothy Weah? Does he have credibility? Does our president have credibility? That's a credibility issue. Timothy came and said, no, the property is not mine. It's not mine. So you people need to just stop this argument. I did not go for a job. Samuel Twai had promised. Samuel Twai wanted to bring into their crooked deed. I said, I'm out.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you, D-Flow. I think Prince is having some technical issue. Let me bring in our next caller. That will be Desmond Finlay. Desmond, you're live.
Thank you guys for having me on today, my Focus on Africa family. But the last time I was listening to D-Flow show, the same argument came out against D-Flow. I said he supported CDC, now he's not supporting CDC. What people have to realize in life is simple. You are growing every day in life. You're making decisions. The one thing a human being can do that will decide his failure is remaining stagnant. Now, I do not know D-Flow. I don't know what he purported before, what he's purporting now. But one thing I can tell you is a wise man makes changes. He apologizes for his actions and he makes changes. So this is I'm responding to Robert in his comment that you can't hold somebody. You can't say the man is not credible because he made a decision. A man that doesn't make a decision and stay in the same mind frame, is that person a credible individual? Because the man said, I'm ultimately, like Prince Johnson, for example, when you give Prince Johnson credibility, somebody that tells you I'm a killer every day, I'm not going to stop, but just continue killing. You give that person credibility over a guy that say, you know what, the thing that I was doing before was wrong, now I stop. So I leave that there. But one thing I also want to comment on is that Prince Sharif and D-Flow and their former argument. D-Flow, what I want you to understand is this. You're not going to read facts into Prince Sharif's head. It's not going to happen. You're not going to read facts into Prince Sharif's heads. The fact of the matter here remains. The Liberty Party The Unity Party at the time, before the transition onto the CDC government, there was a slow economic growth. That's a fact in life. But we cannot argue the fact that the economic growth, the economic output that we have now is decimal comparatively to the last 2 years. It's not so much the economics of the day, it's the fact that the disparity in income and wealth and how the money is being distributed, it's not being distributed equitably. So therefore, that's the argument that CCP should make, as opposed to saying, oh yeah, we was doing this. It's not that. Tell the people why you can be better. Explain to the people why they can be better, because at this point, does it look like George Weah cares? That he's got 19 houses? Does it look like he cares? Does it look like Samuel cares? Does it look like McGill cares? It's not about them. Make the argument to the Liberian people and tell them how you can make it better for them. But you come here trying to read a fact into Prince Sherry's head? It's not possible.
Thank you,
Desmond. And it's not fair to default for people to keep coming back and bringing things that he changes. I'll stay on.
Yeah, Desmond, you don't know what Prince Sherry can take or cannot take. So you can conclude on that as a fact. Let me go to my next.
No, I'm not saying when Mr. I'm not saying read it into his head as where he can take or not take. What I'm trying to say here is I don't think reading facts. Anyway, continue. Thank you. Go to the next call.
All right. Let me get my last caller for the night. We want to wrap last caller for the day, and that's caller 9945. Your name and where you calling from.
And caller, before we speak, I want to remind you about the opinion pool that is the link is pinned below. We want all of you to participate. We have 56 persons that participated so far, and you are about 176 persons following the broadcast, or 72 right now from my end. If we all can participate, it will make a difference. Please just participate. It takes less than a minute to do so. Actually, it's 30 seconds. Thank you.
Let's get our next caller. Your name and where you're calling from. You will be our last caller for this show.
Thank you for having me. My name is Prince Cole, calling from Maryland, Baltimore.
Prince, you are live.
My point I get here, I listened to both caller Prince Sherry and D Flo. Prince Sherry there is defending the CDC, and D Flo there is pointing the ill in the society in Liberia. But I got a problem with D Flo. The caller just left the line and said white man changes. But if the white man continue to change from one place to another place, like jumping all over the place like a monkey, it confuses some of us that fighting the white man. That's what happened to D Flo. D Flo were all in the bushes during the campaign time, supporting Joseph Boakai, running campaign for Joseph Boakai, talking for Joseph Boakai. So the Liberian people should give Joseph Boakai the chance. During campaign time, D Flo were all over that place, propagating the message for Joseph Boakai. After a time, Jinvo came back and said Joseph Boakai not getting or done, he was doing it on his own. Everything D Flo does for people is not getting nothing, he do it on his own. He's saying that you see that somebody 12 calling, somebody 12 not getting or done, somebody 12 not getting or done, he take his own way, he not get nothing for somebody 12. The same thing he said about Joseph Boakai, the same thing he said about somebody 12. I got problem with D Flo. D Flo, if you want to stay your ground to convince some of us that listen to you, you should stay your ground one place and they all to follow you. But you can't be all over the place. You all over the place. You got no credibility to criticize your friend. You got no credibility. And D Flo
lost the caller.
What happened to the caller?
They will say that you make it.
Come out to win election in the CPP. So D Flo, you're not credible. You need to go find one place and sit down and just keep quiet. Let us listen to independent man that come and will listen to, like the brother here left the ground was just saying. We want 80 million people that will come and post solutions down. We're not forcing that you can't be criticized and get no span to get any solution. You are all over the place confusing people around here. You got no credibility D Flo to come criticize other people there. You talk about Joseph Boakai that came out and said we waste the Liberian people opportunity. You know what I mean? Was only ways to pick it out. It's not easy to pick it out on the floor. Joseph Boakai is on recording. You have said, been saying that Joseph Boakai said the opportunity we had to change that bureau over the past 2 years. We will scatter everything we waste on the floor. There's no way to pick it up. It could be even wood out camp. Right after Eddie Naples is going to be struggling with we are struggling. The fire is there. Oh man, everybody left that country there. Everything was high in that place.
The young man is struggling. We know the young man is struggling. We know the things are hard. But when you come here talking like he's the force that things are hard today, they must disappointment on you because you supported him. You not knew that because you never get job. You went for in Liberia that one. You talking today, D-Flow. You got no credibility to criticize your friends. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Prince.
I like that guy.
On that note, we will be concluding on our calls. D-Flow, what you can give me, Chen? Go ahead, Sonny.
I should go ahead.
No, now you. I want Prince to come first before you.
Yes, sir. Let me just respond to. Let me thank my brother, and again, I want to thank all of the callers who calling and make their point. Let me just say to our brother who left before Brother Prince, that gone are the days that you will use certain adage and you think that we buy it as face value. You are joking yourself because we are educated. Our people send us to school to read between the lines. Our brother come here and talk about the issue of wise man changing. No, let me tell you something. Don't lie to us. Wise man is not inconsistent. Get this clear in your head, my brother. I respect your assertion and I respect your point. Wise people are people who are consistent and they believe in their principle. They believe that when they are part of something, that their presence there will make a change. If you flip-flop from one area to the other, you are not wise. Don't deceive us. These were the statements that you people made. Yes, you are all in the bushes. We will not have that kind of lazy argument. Wise man changes. Wise man is not inconsistent. When you get somebody jumping from one end to the other, you can't even say, and the wise man changes, go sit down somewhere. Go and sit down somewhere. There are people who are part of the institution. I gave an example today. I'm not going to call name. In the United States of America, there is a presidential candidate where people look out to be a controversial man. He is part of one of the political party. Maybe some of you know a name, you will call it. He is part of one of the political party. But people look at it and say they made too controversial. They meant sometimes when he's ready, he can behave like somebody who is part of us. He ready to behave. He is part of the institution, but he criticized and proffered ideas. So when you get somebody like my brother who don't even know his definition in this political arena, that today he healed this other person and the next day he healed the other person, then you think we must take him serious? D-Flow is not a sedition. Let me tell you this. And to this issue, D-Flow said, and if Minister Tue and try to bribe him and this and that, look, stop the play, stop the lies. Me, when I tell you that Brother CA is doing this or doing that, I will come with evidences or evidence. I will bring it. D-Flow cannot show us one. D-Flow has posted almost everything. He cannot show us one interaction between he and that astute servant of Liberia. The man who are referred to as the bioeconomic medicine, Honorable D2. You cannot even show us one conversation that you people had. Then you come here and say, oh, the man want to grab me and this, that. Look, we cannot buy those kind of arguments. These are children plating. Now, my sister talked about, when I go to Liberia, then I will change my mind. You know when I've been part of the party? Since 2005, I joined the CDC. Up to today, I remain resolved. Are there issues that I think are challenges? I'm sorry?
And since that time, we are barren.
Thank you very much. And since that time, we are barren. No, I have had issues when it comes to certain things. I have always had my issue. But that would not make me to be from one party to the other, from one party to the other. No, no. And these are things that we must inculcate into this generation. It doesn't mean because you disagree with Prince Sharif, so it means that you must move under a roof. You can be under the roof of Prince Sharif, and yet they're still telling that, look, Mr. Prince Sharif, this what you're doing is not correct. This what you're doing is not correct. Like, take for an example, I can say I'm a member of the Focus on Liberia. Oh, yes, I'm a member of it. And I disagree with you people. Y'all know that between us, we call and I disagree. But that will not be able to take my membership from Focus on Liberia, for example, to another party. So people who flip-flop, they are not wise. They are the most dangerous people in society that we must be careful of. Because these are people that can kill us for nothing. Like, for example, look at Daros DeLong. Why they carry people on the street to go and protest? They said that the economy was rotting. President Weah was responsible for all of the problems. So they should go and remove the government. But guess what? You listen to the statement of our own brother, the academic SKP, Honorable DeLong. He said, President Weah is not responsible for the suffering of the Liberian people. He's not responsible.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? When you put people on the street and say that he was responsible, why 8 people were going to lose their life? You see what we're talking about? Inconsistency. You see what we're talking about? So when you come here and say white men are cheating and white men can cheat, don't bring that statement here. Tell me that white men are not inconsistent. Don't tell me about changing. What are you talking about? Don't deceive us.
Thank you.
The brother called from Canada. The brother called from Canada who said that the government is not auditing past government.
2 minutes out.
Well, he took
sir, I think I gave the. Okay, please allow me to lay on this, please.
All right, let D-Flow allow him to land.
Let's mark it at 350 here.
Yeah, because
Prince quickly.
My brother from Canada called and said that government is not auditing past government and blah blah blah. Look, let me tell you something. This government will not move as per the way you sit down in your hall, you draw pin on the wall and get in the way you draw a load of up here. So therefore, everybody will go by that idea. No, this government is meticulous enough. This government is careful. Do you know how much it takes to prosecute one case? Do you know that? You think the government will rush into case and at the end of the day they become a loser? Do you know how much million of dollars that Liberia lose from the court only because government could not win case? What are you telling me about? Look, you gotta be serious here. We will not allow people to call from anywhere, whether you're calling for heaven or you're calling for hell. Come with the facts and come with sense. Do you know how much the government lost? The government, Madam Ellen Johnson, lost because they could not prove their case on other people.
Thank you.
Be serious. This government will do everything, will follow the law, and at the appropriate time, people will be brought to book. They will draw the case, the evidences, and they will present it at the appropriate time.
D-Flow, D-Flow, before you come in, let me give my last caller 30 seconds. 267 error code. Please, you have 30 seconds. Just make your point.
CDC had to show you the text. Somebody.
We couldn't. Hold on. Let me get my 30 seconds. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Caller, are you there? I'm just trying to be very liberal here. All right.
The caller is not ready. D-Flow.
Okay, we're closing down our lines. D-Flow, go ahead and whatever you were showing on your screen, we can't see it. So so cut that, do a snap and send it to me or send it to Mr. Asunisi and we'll put it on the screen.
No, I think we can. The day I have a time, I can bring it to him. Then he can do it.
Okay, go ahead and respond. You were sharing something we couldn't see it.
When we meet the next time, he can say, I'm a living witness. I got this thing from D-Flow. Let me just take to my brother Win City. I am not a hustler. When you say D-Flow can ask you, there's something they call confidentiality. There's something that you keep to yourself because this business is not where you expose people. When you do that, other people will be afraid to interact with you because they think you cannot keep secret. But the second argument, since people are running around like some kind of chicken with a hair cut, let me show you something between Samuel Toy and myself here. I arrived in Liberia. This is a text between Samuel Toy and myself. I would say the day my brother comes by, I will drive to his place and I will show him this text. The next time when he brings Sharia and myself on, then he will read the text so you can put this. We can put this thing to rest. Who was trying to bribe her? Who was discussing about job in Liberia? So Samuel Toy and I, this is our text. It said D-Flow, we meet this morning at the ministry. I said, what time, brother? I'm here. That was when I arrived at the ministry. That was 3:48 a.m. because it was registering Minnesota time 3:48. So you do the time in Liberia, that will be 8:42 in Liberia time. They are telling me to have someone to call you. So here he goes and says, sorry, Flo. He said, Flo, sorry, brother. I have to step out of the office. Call so we can talk. That was June the 5th, 2019. I said, okay. Then I go on the 8th. I said, good afternoon. Thanks for everything. I leave today. That was June 8th when I was departing Liberia. He goes on, he said, Flo. That was 8:20 a.m. when he sent out flight.
D-Flow.
June 10th. This is our discussion. I said, I am disappointed.
D-Flow, Mr. Jha.
No, we want the text. D-Flow is reading. I mean, if people don't believe you, they will still don't believe you until they see the text. So
yeah, because I'm reading it. So the day he picks it up, then it will coordinate to prove to these people that I am not a hustler as they think.
D-Flow,
so he said, sorry,
we did not send it to me. I'll put it on the screen right now so that people can see it.
But my brother, we met, and we met yesterday. My screen, I told you about my screen.
Yeah, so reading this is not going to change anything. Go ahead with your point.
Well, I don't know what
when you send me a screenshot, what I have to do with your screen?
Hold on, can you see this?
Yeah.
Look at how much you see there.
Yeah.
Can you see that one? I say in Cletus.
Yeah.
Can you see what does it say? Cletus will send
you 1,500.
Okay. So how can you people say I'm a liar? That text for his chief of Samuel to mention his office staff to me.
Maybe you ask for it, but go ahead, make your.
But look here, when you send a text to somebody, there are two prints, right? The rector of the text is coming in white. You as a receiver, you coming in what? In a different color. They don't have the same color.
Point of injection, please.
Go ahead, inject.
Yes, sir.
My man, I'm not
something that I want us to understand.
Hold on, let me inject. You have 30 seconds, Prince.
Yeah, when it comes to this kind of interaction, people create profiles, especially when they know that they want to get at people. I have a profile here of D-Flow who created a page, a fake page, and threatening the life of the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Show me.
He did not know that I even discovered that. But at the appropriate time, we sent it. He threatened the life of the president.
That we must assassinate the president.
So D-Flow can create that page. So who knows?
I have two pages. I have two.
No, D-Flow, hold on. Okay, D-Flow, now make your point. You have 1 more minute.
Okay, so if you guys are running around like a chicken with no head, we say I'm not like you. You are a loser. You are returning to the CDC because you don't have a job. So in the text, a clearly states, look here, it says here in the white, Cletu will send you $1,500. So I go on the post. I said, I do not need your money. I do not do money business with people. You want me to show you that? I said it right here. So in our text, he goes on to say, and he sent me the text, say, you cannot be my brother and say, do not contradict me again. Do not contact me again. Because in the text, I said, do not contact me again. He goes on and said, that is contradiction. I say, I will do anything. Why are you so emotional like this? Slow down, brother. I do not lie. I did not lie to you. I did not lie to you. This is not what.
Are we seeing any name down there or picture like Mr. Tue?
Or D-Flow. That's why I say let us not go into
I don't have time for you until I show the test of somebody who was shown to you all that I told you I don't want to be in the business of anything between somebody and myself to be public. But when y'all push this, it will lead to something greater than on the CDC. I'm telling you something.
No, we are pushing it. When you bring
I'm telling the other people who are lying that I have everything, my transaction with the CDC in here.
Yeah. I want that phone. I want everything to be out there.
Okay, now let's play Joe.
Gentlemen, thank you. We are way out of time. Mr. Sia, let's conclude this.
All right. Be wrapping up what I put a poll on the
right. And
on the screen.
We got our polls set here as to who our viewers think won the debate, and it will be right out very soon. But gentlemen, I want to thank you. This is just the beginning. We are always here to welcome you and to host these kind of interactions. Our goal here is to always educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We have no fish to fry. We do our best to bring all sides together so that we can hear from each other. As Dr. Formula said, our mouth is not gone. So it's better for us to talk than to fight. Whoever you are, whatever your political or socio-economic persuasion may be, please feel welcome here at Focus on Liberia. Let us discuss as Liberians. I mean, it was during my teenage years that the war came and it destroyed us completely. We don't want any more war. We don't want anything that will make our country to go back 100 years. Let's talk it out and let's make sure we come to a solution to solve the many problems that our country is faced with. In an hour's time, we're going to be back here with another program calling it our Sunday prime time. This is about changing the name Monrovia. Some people say Monrovia name, it was first called Duco or Trubo or Dugbo before it became Christopolis, because it became Monrovia. They want it back to Monrovia. Some say not so fast. So join us at 6 o'clock. We're going to be doing that. We have a couple of shows coming up. You saw them on your screen. We have Chemistry and Society. Dr. Saki Golofale, a chemist, PhD in chemistry, will come here every Tuesday at 6 to break it down when it comes to chemistry. Not what you learn in classroom. How does chemistry relate to our society? When they say chemistry, you have it in your bathroom, you have it everywhere around you, in your car, everywhere. Chemistry and Society comes on every Tuesday at 6. Then we have some ladies coming up here to do a show called LIB Talks. That's every Friday at 5. But this evening, 6 o'clock, keep it right here. We're going to have people who will make the case why the name Monrovia must not be changed to Duko, Trubo, or whatever. It should still be Monrovia. Let's get our final closing comments, 1 minute each from our guests here, and then we're going to be reading our polls. Let's start with D-Flow. You have 1 minute, 20 seconds.
I want to say thank you to all of you, and in this business that we are trying to get into, and then to our brothers and sisters in the CDC. Again, I repeat our condolences to the bereaved and to the CDC, to the party as a whole. We have come here to set the record straight, and I think the communication, the conversation, this debate was healthy. It is healthy for our nations, and I hope and pray that we can do it again at that time. At that point, before we can get to that point, I will drive to my brother's place and present to him some of the things that CDCs run around with, talking about. Different went for job, different went for money. So when that day comes, so he will be like, I got this from D-Flow. So you put this right to rights. I am a witness to it. Oh, but then they might turn around and tell you about you. D-Flow is your friend, so you have to protect him. Maybe that will be their argument and switch the conversation again. Not about job, because I will present to you people. I say I'm not into the business to expose people. But if you push me, I have no other way other than proving myself to the Liberian people that I did not do something here. I left the party, and this is what one of your leaders called Samuel Tue have put me into, and that is why I said to him, I don't like corruption, I'm OUT. But I want to say thank you all for the debate. It was hectic. Prince Sharif, get your eye together. Take a time and visit Liberia. When you return, if you are not careful, you will cry like D-Flow.
Thank you. Prince.
Yes,
we are burying.
Yeah, we are in the period of mourning. We've lost a great daughter, a heroine in our society and in our political, dispensation. And the best thing that we can do to appease her is to galvanize all of the support in every well-meaning Liberian and sedition to go to the poll and make sure that her dream is actualized of redeeming the Mosurado County. And having said that, I want to use this occasion also to thank each and every one of you. I mean, the callers, those of you who write, those of you who supported our argument, and those of you who did not. I want to say thank you all for your support. To the Focus on Liberia family, I want to say thank you so much for giving us and affording us the opportunity for us to come here, and be able to intellectually disagree with each other and to send our point across. To Liberians, I want to say that everything is not rosy or it's not bread and butter in Liberia. There are challenges. But as far as we are looking at things, we are grateful that the government is taking the necessary steps to be able to mitigate some of the burning issues in our society. Like, for example, you cannot build a vibrant society when you do not have the skilled people to be able to do that. I always tell people that it is not politicians that build a nation, but it's the technocrat. So what we are seeing that this government is doing is building the technocrats, is building a wall of technocrats being that at the end of the day, they will be able to contribute to society. Because remember now, Liberia experienced a serious deficit in terms of our skill market. Most of our people doing the war, they ran away. Like you are just giving us an example of the doctor who will be coming here. He holds a PhD in chemistry, but he is residing here in the United States. We want for people like that to go back in Liberia and to be able to contribute. And how can we do that? It's when we create the space and that which this government is creating, giving every Liberian the opportunity to speak freely, fairly, without any fear. And I think that if we can do that,
will be heading somewhere. As it relates to the education sector, look at what is happening. Our people are now going to school without paying tuitions, though there are other fees that they can pay, like, the other small 1 or 2 fees, but it's tuition free. Look at the doctors. As we speak today, there are doctors around the world from Liberia that are being, schooled, and they're undergoing training to be specialized in specific area that they can go and produce more. Look at the agriculture sector. Look at Israel. Today we have many Liberians, scientists who are in Israel, and they are training to be able to impact the agriculture sector. Look at the opportunity that have been given to Liberian businesses. Look at the license that have been given to the Liberian business, people, that you can go out and be able to import whatever you want to import. And government have just relaxed most of these things. I think there are challenges, but we are making progress as a nation. And together we can make our progress to be more faster. Don't look at President Weah as Liberia, but look at yourself as Liberia. And I believe if you look at yourself from that standpoint, I am Liberia. And as a Liberian, I will work for the improvement of Liberia. We'll be going somewhere. But if you look at it from a Weah standpoint, President Weah, you will be aiming at the wrong direction. So again, thank you for giving me the opportunity as we move this lost. And don't forget to follow us also under the Palava Hut. Follow our page where we provide the facts and give you tangible information as it relates to what is obtaining in Liberia. As I said again, I'm always in Liberia. I will not make public service announcement when I'm in Liberia or when I'm going to Liberia, but I'm always there. Liberia is my home, and I will forever be there. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Prince,
Prince,
remind you, Prince talk.
We're going to bring you back.
Stop this nitpicking. D-Flow, stop this nitpicking.
Prince, we're going to bring you back.
406. He said 1 minute. I want you all to understand. It was not to analyze or some setup.
That was closing. We didn't time the closing. We didn't time the closing, D-Flow.
No, he said 1 minute. Then he said 1 minute.
All right.
No, man. Oh, when you take 1 minute, I will take 1 minute too.
No, okay. Then he said 1 minute, but you talk more than that. You talk 6 minutes.
D-Flow, let me end. We have another show coming up.
D-Flow, when people are not used to the political terrain and intellectually they are not prepared, these are the kind of argument they bring. Are too strong.
No, I'm just telling them I need a time to summarize.
All right, so Prince will welcome you back on the Hour of Politics to discuss. You talk about the Palava Hut. So we want to enter that Palava Hut with you under the Hour of Politics. My man, as soon as here, will be here to talk to you about the Palava Hut, and we'll be extending you an invitation to come here. Mr. As here, let's go on with our polling, and so we can wrap this up.
All right, folks. At this time, we want to say thank you so very much, our viewers. You stay with us throughout this conversation. I can see we have 181 persons still watching. That is incredible. Even if we have 2 persons, that is incredible, because for someone to take their time and listen to us, we always appreciate that. We pinned the poll down below, and many of you participated. We want to say thank you. About 133 persons participated, so we got 133 responsive. I will now be putting that result on the board, and Mr. Ja will break it all down for you. Mr. Ja, the poll result on the board right now.
Right. So we had a poll. We had who, in your opinion, has won the debate: D-Flow, Prince Sheriff, or nobody. We have 71 persons responded, say it's D-Flow, and 60% responded, say Prince Sheriff. 5 persons responded, say nobody won. And to break that down in terms of percent, you have 44.1% say Prince Sheriff won the debate. We have 52.2% saying D-Flow won the debate. That's based on those who participated in the poll, 133 responses, and that's what they said. So
Prince, they call me the great debater.
D-Flow start interrupting us now. We're doing something. Yeah.
All right. So that's it. It's not scientific. We sampled those that were watching, and those were the responses that we got. We want to say thank you, gentlemen, for your time. At this time, we'll be ending our broadcast. Because when I say you give response now, D-Flow will say the other person talk for 2 minutes. So we're gonna say
no, but we just agreed to make it to season it, right? And we agreed to spice it.
The person can be mute if they try to go above,
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. D-Flow, you interrupt too much. It's not especially when we, the host, we're speaking, you jump in there. It makes sense. But gentlemen, we have to give you 1 minute each. And this time, let me turn my bazooka here so that I can mute anybody. So according to the results, 53%, 53.4% for D-Flow and 43.6% for Prince Sharif, and that is the result that we got. Mr. Sharif, we will give you the opportunity to respond. This thing is all internet to make this thing interactive and amusing. This in no way suggests that you will be murdered, intellectually, but I mean, it based on how many person maybe from D-Flow end that are here following the conversation. So that's what it all means. So we will now
again,
give you the opportunity to respond.
Yes, and again, I appreciate this because I know the terrain that I find myself in as someone we allegedly say this is an opposition, terrain. But for the fact that, I can come and be given the opportunity to, express my view, I think I appreciate it. And this is what we must continue to do, fellow Liberians. I understand that sometimes, every, let's say, show has their own audience. So the grade of the audience will actually tell you, it will actually tell you the kind of show that it is. But again, I respect the show, and I think we will always be here to provide, our own take on the issue. If you look at the number, it tells you that people are interested in what we are saying. Because I have watched this show on several occasions. There are times people come here, and at the end of the day, you see the number, it dwindles. It go way below this number. But for the fact that people are listening, it means they're taking interest in what we are saying. They may not agree with all that I will say. They may not agree with all that D-Flow is saying, but we're able to make our point. And from what we are saying, Liberia, we are getting somewhere, especially under the government of President George Weah. I think we are getting somewhere. So let's be tolerant. Let's use this medium to express our dissatisfaction instead of running to the butchers. So thank you all for the support. I appreciate you. This can never be better without your participation. Continue to follow Focus on Liberia. Continue to follow Under the Palava Hut. And follow D-Flow, as we all weigh in the argument. Thank you so much. I respect you. And have yourself a God bless day.
Thank you. D-Flow.
Thank you, my brother Prince. It was a great debate. You gave it your best out of your best. But I just want to remind you, in our democratic system, you got to be honest to the people. Make a visit to Liberia. Go outside of Monrovia and see those who brought George from our president to state power, how they feel today. The party headquarters that used to be the home of so many deceptive people, today some of them cannot go there. They don't walk anymore to say, I'm going to walk miles from Nuclear Town and go to the sycamore tree. They have to be like, you got to pay my way. It is in your administration that George Weah and others have to send money to people in the United States to transport them to Liberia to go to the Anthony Stedman Stadium to praise the president. If you are doing so well, why would he take people from the United States to go and praise him? It is supposed to be a man like you talking about, I'm going to pay D-Flow's way to go to join me to go celebrate my president's victory. But we saw John Weah sent more than what? $22,000 for citizens in the United States. I'm not talking about those in Canada. I'm not talking about those in Australia. I'm not talking about others in Europe. They spend money around the 7 continents to transport people to Liberia to praise our brother. We are in a terrible situation. We don't have the solution. I don't know the solution for where we are as a nation. But all I can say to you, we wish you guys well. But I do know Masivado is gone.
Your 1 minute is out. Thank you. So on this note, we're going to be ending the debate for the day. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank to our viewer. Catch us at 6, and we'll be coming your way. Until then, my name is Dennis Jah. On behalf of Focus on Liberia, saying have a good and godly day.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia. Liberia.